is that when you go to the churches, there's big crosses in the church here, and people wear the cross around their neck here. What is the real significance of the cross here, and what power does it really have?
But basically, why should someone want to wear something symbolic of the death of their God? What kind of symbol is that to wear?
Regeneration. Be black for real, not just be black. Be really black, yeah?
For real, still black.
For really black, everything can work. When we're not really black, it ain't gonna work.
For real, black. Wicked.
Peace, I'm out.
Peace, God, yeah? Yes, that was Dennis. And it's true what he's saying there, man. I mean, boy, we have to really get real with ourselves and look more deep into ourselves and find out who we are.
The Regeneration Show.
And remember, this show ain't nothing if you people don't phone in, okay?
Hello. I just want to talk about black people joining the police force. I don't think they should do it at all.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the black policemen, them are the worst.
Anyway, like I say, it's Genesis 91.6 on your FM dial. We are here for the people. And we hope the people that are with us.
I just think that why should a woman, if we want to straighten her hair and look nice, we're not trying to be like white women. If we look in the mirror, we can see our skin is dark brown or whatever the complexion you have.
And like I said earlier before, if anybody's from the Pan-African or Nation of Islam or the Holy Tabernacle Ministry,
it's the Elohim. So it's the wind of the Elohim moved upon the face of the water. So when you're saying the wind of the Elohim, what are you talking about? We know how the Elohims travel. We know how these beings travel. So this is a spacecraft, a ship that you're actually talking about. Yeah, oh, it's a ship. What's he talking about? Hello, night cooler?
I'm saying because, like, I'm from my race. They ain't nothing, ain't nothing else to live for apart from your race.
For real, blood. That's the truth. But people keep thinking it's about career, car, family, babies, bloody trips and all them kind of things. You know what I'm saying, blood? And it's for real.
Them things will come, but what's the point having a career you ain't got a race?
You know, that's the reason why we have to have these kind of talk shows, blood, because, boy, people them have to wake up, blood.
Yeah, for real,
you know?
Man, you know, but we can't join the army.
Now forget about that, madness. I mean, me personally, I ain't never ever.
The Regeneration Show.
Most places, when you're as a black person, you go for interview, they want to see passport pages, all kind of madness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, blood? Hello, do we have another call on the line? Okay, what's your name? Okay.
Like, who is power, right? They are just preparing the way for the Holocaust to continue.
Have you got anything to say? And we as black people, yeah, do you think it's worth us joining the police force, the army, or the navy, etc.? Is there any benefits out of it, do you believe, or?
Is to live in a mainly white society. And I think we have to, when we talk about finding our identity, yes, we do have to find ourselves.
Okay then. Okay, and this is the People's Talk Show. Yeah, mate, the people, not mine, the People's Talk Show. Yes.
91.6 FM.
Yo, this is Daddy Freddy speaking on behalf of OG Briggy. And since we're in the city, we don't have no pity. A boy, we're tripping the speed of the Gaza Strip. No playtime no more, Brad boy. Then when I tell him, man, pop!
This is Lady Sun. This is the Regeneration Black People Show. So you know what? We are regenerate everybody together, you know, because we are one blood. See there? Speak your mind.
Okay, London Town, and welcome to the Black Spiritual Mental Physical Regeneration Show. How are you doing, London Town, tonight? Yes, I hope that you're doing fine. Anyway, London Town, yeah, I hope that you will stay up with us tonight, yeah, because we'll be opening up the live link today, yeah. Anyway, yeah, we have Brother Kwaku in the house, okay. Also, Brother Martin from Power Jam, yeah. And, you know, it's a family thing tonight still, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, yeah, because we want to show people unity still out there, that the two stations, all the stations that's out there, at the end of the day, we're all one. Anyway, brothers and sisters, yeah, earlier on today, on the People's Talk Show, the brothers and sisters were talking about the march earlier on today, basically, yeah. And I happened to have actually went down onto the march today, London Town, yeah, and I saw Brother Kwaku there, also Brother Martin, yeah. So what we're gonna do, London Town, basically, yeah, we want to hear your views, yeah, and we also will be talking about the march, basically, and everything that happened down there. And by the way, earlier on today, I think that the wrong address was given out about the march, because the march actually took place, was leaving from the Brits Hotel, that's Brixton, okay, across the road from Lambeth Town Hall, yeah. But anyway, London Town, the march has gone by anyway, yeah. But what we're going to do, like I say, we're going to open the live link still. We're going to be talking about the march, basically, yeah. So what I'm going to do London Town, yeah, I'm going to play another jingle, yeah, and I'll most definitely catch you back up on the other side, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I forget. Big up UK Blacks, yeah. Big up the North, East, South, West London crew, all the brothers and sisters them locked down in the jails around London Town, love and a bud, yeah. And I'll catch the brothers and sisters up in 2 seconds, yeah. Peace.
Warning. We must remind you, all of these celebrities are real.
This is Angelo Starr from the Edwin Starr Band, and I listen to Radio Genesis.
Hi, my name is Crystal Rose, and I listen to Briggy on Genesis Radio.
My name is Tony Tucker. When I'm in London, I listen to Briggy. My name is Princess C. Mama. Listen out to Briggy. Big shout out to Briggy. You know the Prince is hip.
Yeah, my name is Les right now, and I listen to Briggy on Genesis Radio.
Hi, I'm Nigel Ben. I listen to Briggy on Genesis.
Hi. My name is Anthony Quinn. I listen to Briggy on Genesis Radio with a great pleasure.
My name is Johnny P. Mr. Briggy on Genesis 91.6.
Hey, make sure you listen to Briggy on 91.6. Message from Gary Mason.
My name is Michael Watson. I listen to Briggy on Genesis.
Keep it locked to the conscious station around town. Genesis, the number one. Keep the unity in the community. Lennox Lewis said that.
Genesis, the good station.
Yeah, this is Don Lucci and Briggy. Just keep it up. You know it's only right.
The Regeneration Show, touching the hearts and souls of many, but the chosen are few.
Okay. Black Spiritual Mental Physical Regeneration Show, Genesis Radio, most definitely here for you, working every single time for the community, yeah? I just want to take time to be at Sister Ruby, also Uncle Dennis, all the top, yeah? Anyway, London Town, the live number is 0958 298 669, yeah, that's 0958 298 669. One more time, 0958 298 669. Okay, London Town. That's if you want to get through live into the studio. But you know, I actually turned the radio station phone on yet. But you know, we're gonna be doing that in a little while. But what we're gonna do, me and Brother Kwaku and Brother Martin from the Jam, we're gonna be reasoning still, yeah, about basically what took place today on the march and everything like that. And I wouldn't actually mind hearing from some of the brothers and sisters, yeah, who were at the march. And I know you lot listen. I know you lot gonna phone in, yeah. Anyway. Once again on the time, we'll talk about the march because we actually went out on the march because really, you know, it's always all good, you know, us being on the station really or on a radio and actually talking about these things. But as you know, I'm sure I'm a DJ on the station, you know, black educational DJ. At the end of the day, sometimes I have to go down some of these places and show my face still at the end of the day just to show support to the family and everything still. Because that's the reason why basically I went down there, was strictly to show support for the family, yeah. Anyway, London Town, yeah. Anyway, we're here for you. Want to hear your views still, yeah. We know at the end of the day, more time London Town marching up and down all over the place doesn't really do nothing much still, really. But like I say, I was down there, yeah, to show full support for the family, yeah. But anyway, London Town, we've got Brother Kwaku in there, yeah. And Kwaku's going to just tell you a little bit about himself first, yeah, London Town, yeah, and then basically we're going to start talking about basically what's happening. And plus we're going to be skipping through other little things as well. Yeah, London Town? All right then. Brother Kwaku, nice to have you here, by the way, brother.
Yeah, peace up. Otep to everybody out there, London Town. Yeah, you'll probably hear me on Power Jam on 92 FM on my show, my talk show that we do 8 to 10 every Monday. But we saw Brother Briggy down at the march today, and like Brother Briggy said, we're there for the parents them and the family of the dead people them who organize this march, which basically why in certain ways kind of did upset me still, but we got on there for the people. And Brother Briggy, you know, him just begged me himself, well, boy, Brother Kwaku Martin, I got a show tonight, man, and boy, I feel a way still, and it would be nice if you could come down and share a few vibes with me. So we're there for share a few local vibes with the brethren. You know them way, the brother?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. So, Brother Martin, yeah, you just want to tell London Town a little bit more about yourself and why it is, sir?
Good evening, London. Yes, Brother Kwaku and Briggy just said, you know, we was out there today because sometimes you have to stand up and be counted. A lot of the time we talk the talk, but a lot of the time also we don't walk the walk. And it's necessary for the people to know that who we are, where we are, and that as a community, we can come together when it's necessary because it's only us that can correct the wrongs, yeah?
Okay, London Town. Like I say, because I know I'm a radio presenter, yeah, but Andy Morrison, enough respect still, yeah, was on the show still when we was talking about the meeting down Lambeth Town, and also was talking about the march still, yeah. So like I say, I went down there to the show, pure respect to the family of the people them that just passed away, yeah. But anyway, London Town still, yeah. Boy, I mean, still, there wasn't a lot of people who actually turned up at the march, to be quite honest, yeah, because I actually thought that there would be actually more, because I swear, when me and Brother Kwaku and Brother Martin was actually leaving the place here, it looked like there was a load of people standing up and was actually moving off. It kind of coming like there was hardly anybody there still, yeah. And there was also some socialist brothers and sisters there, yeah, and some basically they look like Batman to me and lesbians and all them kind of things. Yeah, there was Batman definitely. What I noticed here in London Town, when any time we as black people get together, yeah, and we're doing our marches and all that, then these people always seem to be like jumping on the bandwagon basically, yeah. And far as concerned, still, me and Brother Kwaku, we came to the conclusion that these people, they were here like to start trouble up basically, yeah, or some kind of riot, yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna make Brother Kwaku just tell you his views still anyway, yeah.
Yeah, blood. Well, as far as me concerned, right, yeah, the march was a fiasco in that, you know, we had something for our people, but I know London Town, black people may I talk to, African them, and who may I talk to, see? And when I say African, I mean, whether you're from the Caribbean, or you're there, you're born here, right, from your descent is of African descent, is you may I deal with. See, so no feel no way when me utter the words African, because I not segregate none of it. When I say African, we are unified the whole away. See? No, this thing wasn't advertised properly. Certain people didn't know about it. Yeah, you never really, other than I think Genesis was mentioning it on the radio, and maybe, you know, it was mentioned on Power Jam one at the time there, right? We did have a big show the other day and we mentioned it, yeah. But other than that, it wasn't mentioned around town. See, it was mentioned in some colleges, but a lot of people didn't turn up, right? And this is what happens. You see, you have these people and they come down and they take over the march. I mean, them have some local banner with socialist worker and all them something there. When them something that the news where you gonna see socialist worker. We don't know no socialist worker, dread. We not some Pan-Africanist business we are dealing with, you know. We are dealing with black man, black woman, and that we are dealing with. We not dealing with no local gay rights business. We not coming out defend no gay rights runnings. You know, see, and them come down there and they was trying to incite certain little things. You hear them talk about fight police and all them things. Where you gonna fight police? Police have big button and all them something there, and they don't go 1 and 2 and no nothing. I talk about fight police. We don't fight no police, we not fight the wicked. Right? The police, them is just an instrument. You understand me I deal with? Them is just an instrument. Right? What them call? The long arm of the law. That is what them is. They don't, you know, black people, let me tell you something now. You know what the police them job is? Their job description is police enforcement, law enforcement. That means them is there to enforce the law. You understand me I deal with? So whose law them enforcing? As somebody I tell them to do it, you know. As somebody I tell them to do it, black people. But yeah, we want to ring in. We take up with us there, I support up Briggy, you know. Because I love what this youth do still differently, you know. I mean, we're there to support him up on them thing there. But basically, the tendency that I saw down there today was that these certain little people come down there with a little loudspeaker and gearing up. Let me give you you want to give us an example about the bridge? No. We walk down and we end up down I think it was Kennington Road. When we reach at the bottom of Kennington Road now, the police them stop and say, you can't go across Westminster Bridge because Westminster Bridge closed. So this little gay boy must jump on the mic and shout out about, no, the police them don't want us to cross the bridge and everything like that because, you know, but we want to cross the bridge. How are we going to cross the bridge? And the police them say, no, the bridge closed. You can't cross the bridge. Nobody can go across the bridge. Right? Anyway, it decides that we not go across the bridge because I have to turn to the people. I have to draw the mic and get wicked now because I can say the people them get riled up now because they believe that the police have no want to cross the bridge. Anyway, we bust a left round one corner, hook a right, and end up over Lambeth Bridge. See? And when we dally down in Westminster there, all and behold, Westminster Bridge was blocked off. It was locked up. So I don't lie the police them when I tell. But them look gay rights, boy, them is like them want inside certain rights. And when them inside the riot now, you know, them just disappear because them can blend in like a chameleon and say, because them white. But man, you can't blend in and we them are going to rush. And we have our children them on the march. There was children on the march. You can't incite violence and you got children on the march. So what happened if it kick off? What happened to the children then? Yeah, London town. I that them I deal with. So yeah, I said the Briggy. I'm a vex in a London town. London town me vex.
This is showing AG dealing with all aspects of life, the physical, the spiritual, and the mental, on the Regeneration show with my man Briggy, and this is how we do straight from the Boogie Down Bronx.
Okay, London Town, we've got a live link. We're going to check out this live link, yeah? Hello, Genesis Radio.
Briggy?
Yo.
Enough respect, it's Big T, man.
Yes, Big T, how you doing, my brother?
Yeah, man, that's seriously, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, hold on, Big T, the live link sound all right, yeah?
Yes, everything sound crisp, man.
All right, that's nice,
everything
man.
sound crisp, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Better than CD, you know?
Yeah, yeah. All right, just like CD.
Briggy, enough respect to Kwaku that's doing, you know what I'm saying, what he's saying to, you know what I'm saying?
For real?
It's true, because there was a talk show on a couple of weeks ago, yeah?
Go on,
but the way I dropped the question to driver, I checked myself, you know what I'm saying? But one thing I noticed at Briggy scene about Brixton, yeah?
Go on.
For this part, every time I go down there, I noticed that a lot of homosexuals are moving down them side there now. It's like they're trying to put their suffering with our suffering. If you know what I'm saying? It's like they're trying to compare the both of them. The both of them just don't compare.
That's why they say civil rights. That's what
you understand?
You know
I mean, they're saying, oh, we suffer the same as you. Suffer what? Suffer?
No, they don't suffer.
They don't suffer nothing. You know what I'm saying? I said, all I'm saying is, where were they when we was enslaved? In slavery. You know what I'm saying? You know? That's one thing I noticed, and I noticed that a lot of them are moving down into Brixton area now, and it's not right for the little youths them to see them things there, you know what I mean? You know?
For real still, bro.
All right?
Yeah,
I just had to say enough respect to the families to, you know what I'm saying, of the people, of the march and everything, yeah?
Well, hold on a minute, Big T, before you go,
yeah,
yeah?
Yeah, man.
I just want to ask the question. This is a question I want to ask the whole of London Town at the end of the day, yeah? Should we bother continue with having marches, or should we just abolish them completely? What do you reckon?
Boy, the marches them seen, I say yeah. Well, the marches bring people together still, you know what I'm saying? You should have a march, and at the same time just go back to a community centre where you can exchange numbers and everything, and you know what I'm saying? And talk on a level. You know what I mean? That's what I say the march is for. But the march for down the place, we shall overcome. Nah, man. I say nah. But if you're talking about exchanging numbers and going back to community halls, you understand a network? Yeah, as I say, a network. Yeah. Then I say yeah, I'm for the march. But if you're talking about a march where you're crying for pity, you can't cry for pity nowadays. Now, you know what I mean? You know, respect is a thing you have to earn it still. You know, I'm dealing with. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you have to come out with the fear business now. You know what I mean? Yeah?
Yes, Big T.
Okay then, man.
Enough respect for your call, Big T.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, hold on, Quake,
yeah,
talk to you a second, yeah?
Wait, a Big T that from Lewisham?
Yeah, man.
Well, remember you, know, you remember me?
Yeah, you mean?
Yeah, respect every time, blood.
Yeah.
Nice too, man. But boy, sorry, with the nice if the brother them was down there in force still, you know, because one of the things, right, is that I know that you say we shouldn't march, right, but you see, I believe that if all the black people them who was at church this Sunday, right, and all the black people them who they had a mask, was to come out in force and march on that march today, it would have said something. You understand me?
Right, true.
It would have said something, mate. You understand me? Right, because what would happen is now, right, the government would have to look and say, well, boy, the decent people them now, even them vex. But the way it did look like it's just a bunch of people them who looking like they just want to incite a little trouble and make a little noise. It never really too kick. You understand what I'm saying, blood?
Was it, because I tell you, I wasn't there to tell you, because I don't want to make no excuses or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Tuesday I'd work in the morning still. But tell me something. Was there anarchists there or anything like that? Because that's what I noticed, that them anarchists, them little white boys, they always come onto the march.
Yeah, man. That's the same.
The anarchists them.
Yeah, women don't know if them are anarchists or what kind of is them is, you know, but them is some form of is, you know what I mean? But they was there, right? And is Briggy come and check me, because I didn't even know what he looked like. He just come and check me and say, yeah, you're Kwaku, innit? And I said, yeah. And I introduced him to my brother, you know what I mean? Martin and them thing there. I was there, and we look around before we even the march off, and we said to ourselves, boy, cha, this thing look like some little joke business, you know what I mean?
Man.
But still at the same time, we marched, Red, because we know why we were marching.
Yeah, but
to
you see
support
the
the family and that.
Okay, you see the march there now. I mean, how far did you get to Downing Street?
No, we got all the way there, man.
You got all the way, yeah?
Right to what they call the pearly gates, mate.
Right.
Right to the gates. We marched right to the gates, you know what I mean? But then after it reached the gates, it's like it was nothing again, you know what I mean?
Same.
You understand my deal? Right? And me just feel a bit disheartened still, you know what I mean? If you know, say, boy, so much black people there about the place, and you know, so much of it
But you
dead.
see, let me tell you something quick. You know the reason why a lot of black men not reach them places to see? Because not for we tool free. Every man just looking at little money now and everything. You know what I'm saying? And once they make the little money, they think, boy, I don't need to worry about them things there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know? That's the reason why enough of them black men don't reach out them places there too, because they make a little money and think, yeah, you know what I mean, I'm safe. I don't need to worry about them things there.
Yeah, so that's what you see, the country perpetuate that thing, self-business. It's just a little self-business. And you know, whether we want face stand up black people, we just in the self-business too. Nobody now, you know, there's no unity amongst us no more. You understand what I'm dealing with? Every man's out for himself kind of thing, you know what I mean?
It's just like every man's just looking at a box now and everything, and you know what I mean?
Man ain't saying a man can't go and rave and a man can't, but when there's serious matters to deal with, we must be there like a family, Dread. That's why the people them just walk all over us.
And another thing, fear as well. You understand?
Oh, a little afraid, Blizzard. When you're afraid of, when you reach certain age in life, you know, you can't afraid again, you know. When you got children, when you bring a child on this planet, Dread, you can't afraid again. You have to forget about fear. Because when your mother and father come in this country here, Dread, right, and them did have we, you know, fear go to the door, you know, them just have to do it.
Same.
You understand? But anyway, I don't want to got the mics too, you know, bring your ears to different. But you can check me out tomorrow on Power Jam, yeah? Yeah, 8 to 10, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah?
All right. Nice, man.
Okay, the Black Spiritual Mental Physical Regeneration Show, Genesis 91.6 on your FM dial. London Town, the line number 0958298 669. That's 0958298 669. Yeah. Anyway, London Town. Okay, we got a live link London Town, yeah, and I'm just gonna take the link still anyway, yeah. Okay, we lost that link there. Anyway, like I say, London Town, it's good to hear the views of London Town, and still there was we and Brother Kwaku was talking still about other brothers and sisters like actually attending there. You know, like brothers and sisters from Nation. Which we saw 3 brothers and sisters from the nation, 3 brothers from the nation, 3 brothers from the nation. Yeah, like still, it would be nice to see, you know, at least one representative of everybody there still come from the community. Yeah, anyway, no from the Christian community. But anyway, I'll tell you what, we're gonna take this live. Yeah. All right, hello, Genesis Radio.
Hello, Briggy, Sandra from Peckham.
Okay, how you doing, Sanj?
All right, I'm fine, thanks.
Okay then.
I just want to say thank you to you and Driver for turning up at the actual meeting. I didn't actually get to say hello and shake your hands, which I wanted to do, but I popped out, and by the time I come back, you had already gone. So, you know, next time I see you, I'd like to shake your hand.
Yeah, that's
and it's like, you know, you're talking about the Socialist Party.
Yeah,
well, I had a little bit to do with the organising, or like getting the pictures done and all the rest of it. The banners that I done, yeah, at the office, they're still there. They never even got used, you know. I took my time out, you know, getting all these posters done up on these billboards, and they never even got to be used because, unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to the march because I'm quite ill at the moment. So, but, you know, you're talking about them Socialist Party. I was trying to get Andy in the week, and one of these Socialist brother, I actually accidentally rang his number, and he was saying to me, yeah, you know, they're going to be down there and they're going to be, you know, supporting us. But was they carrying any of the banners, though? You know what I'm saying? Was they, you know, what were they there for, you know?
Sister, what does the banners them say on there anyway?
It was just what the ones that I did.
Yeah.
Well, they were billboards, really, you know, them little if you hold up. It was just of the pictures of the brothers that had died, you know,
yeah,
like...
you know the funny thing? That none of them was there today still.
No, I know, nobody, you know, they didn't want to carry them, you know, but as I said, I wasn't actually there, so I couldn't really say what really went down. But I've had second-hand tellings on what's happened, you know, about 110 people were supposed to have turned up, you know, and as I was saying, you actually went down the street that the police said that you wasn't supposed to go down, and you just went down, and they was quite shocked, and they were saying that the police were laughing at you, you know, to say that, you know, they knew that, you know, all these people. But about the organising of it, you know, as I said, what we really have to do is we have to take an example from Farrakhan. Now, as the man said in the studio, you know, we just get... Yeah, we have to get, you know, the churches involved, because as I said, the office that I am at now, we've got a church that goes there, and they've got quite a large congregation, you know. While the march was going on, they were sitting down eating food, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and they did know about it, but not to the extent of, you know, what was the real details of what was going down. You know, what we have to really do is get a national day, basically, you know, so take months out, you know, to advertise, you know, the actual date that we want to, like, stop work, you know, and get all the black people out. People from the mosque, everybody. You know, that's what it's going to take. You know, and I think that it's going to have some impact. You know what I'm saying? They thought that Farrakhan was a load of rubbish and all the rest of it, but, you know what I'm saying, now they're running scared.
And the funny thing, you know, sister, 'cause I was watching the ending of the march on the news today, yeah? And the reporter man goes to Andy Morris and he goes, not much people turn up today, and he was saying to him, so that means really no one don't really care.
That's what he thinks. It's just that it's not advertised. I believe that it's down to advertisement. As I said, it's only for the fact that I met up with Brenda and I found out about the march. Otherwise, I would have only heard it on Genesis. And, you know, too tough. Whether I would have gone or not, I don't know. I can't really say that. It's only till I met up through Brenda that I actually, you know, got involved in it. But, you know, as I said, it's not advertised enough. You know, as I said, we have to, you know, to unify, we have to sort of like get it out to everybody. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
So nice one, yes, sis.
All right, then. Enough respect to everybody that did turn up.
Yeah, man.
And the most respect to Andy Morris.
Yeah.
And the families.
Yeah, I reckon he's listening anyway, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, sis.
Okay, then.
Okay, then.
Bye.
Bye, then. Okay, London Town, right? Don't forget London Town, we're talking about the march, and you'll be getting first-hand information because we was actually there on the march here. If any other bum sisters them that was actually there on the march on the phone in and give like from their perspective, their viewpoint, can do so, yeah. 0958 298 669, yeah. But still London Town. Still, you know, for real though, yeah. Forget about all the religious beliefs and stuff like that, yeah. But I do believe, right, still, if anything happens to any of the brothers them in the community, I do believe that there should be members from the different sections, whether they be Black Panther group, whether they be well, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, at the end of the day, yeah. 'Cause I don't want to keep going to reading off names, but the brothers and sisters know what I'm saying, basically, yeah. But anyway, still on the time, yeah. We want to hear a little bit more from you still, you know, your views basically about marching, if you should march, or if as black people we should just leave it alone still, yeah. Anyway, live at number 0958 298 669, yeah. Anyway, London Town still, yeah. I'm gonna put you over to Brother Kwaku. No, anyway, we've got a live link still. We've got a live link here. So what we'll take the live link, yeah. Me and Kwaku gonna start reasoning again, yeah. All right. Genesis Radio.
Yeah, Briggy.
Yo.
Big up, Professor Scene. You're doing a good job still. Boy, I wanna quote something. You see, you like into the promotion of this march scene.
Yeah.
I want to know, was this promoted in the Voice or anything like that?
Oh, no, can you say that again, please, bud? That cracked up there, you know.
Was this promoted in the Voice or anything like that? I'm not trying to knock it down, but I'm trying to wonder.
To be quite, I'm not sure, you know. I'm not sure.
Boy, because I've been hearing like what you've been talking about still, like wanting the people them to get together and that, you know what I mean? And like coming like it's on the Genesis 1 that's doing anything, you know what I mean? And like look how much radio stations there is right now. Certain man's got to kind of communicate on that level, you know what I mean? That's what I was trying to say. Like boy, see like things like the Voice, all certain black things that we got. They should have bigged this up, you know what I mean? That way we could have all got certain success out of this, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, a man could have come home and say, yeah, all right, then we've done something today, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
So, Bloody, what do you say about the marches anyway? You we should don't bother them anymore or continue with them still?
Well, this is what I'm trying to say. You see, like when, if a black man's got anything to do positive, see, the only way I see him doing something, see, is like bigging it up on a proper scale, not like a joke vibes, where at the end of the day you got to come back home and say, boy, weren't a success. That's what I was asking, like, how was it promoted? You know what I mean? Like things like The Voice, all them kind of paper there where enough black men read it. They can't fight us down for reading it in there. You know what I mean? And every man just read it and just go on the march. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it would have been nice to, you know what I mean? Like I say, if everybody was there to represent from different communities, it'd be really nice.
I mean, look how much like different brothers have been on your talk show, like Muslim, Christian, as you've been saying, church brothers, and there weren't none of that up there.
Nah.
Where was the unity, blood?
There's only I see about 3 of the nation brothers them there still. You know what I mean? And that was about it really, and the rest was just normal brothers and sisters still.
Well, I tell the truth, after you said this should happen again, but this time, as I said, use things like The Voice, certain other black networks, because I mean, there's enough people who listen to Genesis. You know what I mean, blood? And I mean, you see, like what you're doing now, it's coming like it's like only you want to do something, and it can't work, so.
Blood, it's not all about me still. We've got the brother Kwaku them from
yeah, I've heard the man them still, but I'm just saying like, only Genesis is promoting this kind of thing. I mean, Church of them punks ain't doing nothing. Look at that, that's another black radio station.
Yeah, I know you say.
You know what I mean? It's only Genesis 1. So say, boy, it's got to big up more love in the community, Rasta. If a man wants to march again, that's the way I see it. I think it should happen again, but on a bigger scale this time, and forget about police and all this fear crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like I said to the sister Sandra at the front before, when the news reporter man said to Brother Andy, it looks like no one don't really care kind of thing. It's kind of feisty, but at the same time,
that's what they want to hear. That's what they want to see.
But at the same time, they kind of got that power to say that. You know what I'm saying? Due to the fact it was the mark was kind of like there was not anybody there still. But how many brothers were in Kwaku? About 100 and maybe 100 or less than that, if that. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah, most of them were sisters. That's the truth. Sisters and children. It's the truth.
Them things, they vex me, man, because, I mean, we need to unite on a proper scale, man, and that's the only way I see us doing it, you know what I mean? Because it's not for me and you, no, Biggie, because we're bigger men than them growing up. It's the youth them that will come up behind us.
Yeah, blood,
you understand?
No, blood, that's what's it all about. Anyway, Kwaku wants to talk to you quickly, yeah?
Yeah, Otep, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, peace. Listen, first thing, yeah, you know, we always look at things and say it's for the youth them, yeah?
Yeah, for real.
But the youth them's got to see the bigger man them doing something. Yeah, you got to lead by example differently. You know what I mean? Now,
that is the reason why I was saying that this should have been like promoted, if not promoted, because I don't know. That's what I was asking like about the voice thing. That's what I'm saying. If it goes in like certain chapters through that, then the man will see that. Because I mean, every man reads a paper still.
Yeah.
I mean, we got things like Choice FM. What are they doing?
Yeah, it's true. But at the end of the day, right? You see. You got to check certain politics, blood, you know what I mean? It's all well and good, you know, people look upon Chais and say, well, Chais now, do some Chais now, do that, but you have to look in the deep politics and why they don't touch on certain subjects, you know what I mean?
Why is that, blood?
And, you know, Genesis do a great work in that field, you know, and it was mentioned on Power Jam as well, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the pirate stations, they will do all they can to promote certain things, you know what I mean? But at the same time, right, there was leaflets going about the place. The word was about the place, but brother, you know, there's always been marches about certain things, yeah. And you know, brothers and sisters, they don't come out of their house. You know what I mean? But listen, brother, I had a big show the other day, right? There must have been about 700 people in there. It was mentioned at the show, the time, the day, and everything, right? How many people from that show came? None. The only person that was there, the only two comedians that did there, was Curtis Walker and myself. You understand what I'm doing? And I said enough respect out to Curtis Walker, Jed, because that brother, he don't just talk the talk, he walk the talk. You understand me? You understand me? Walk the walk, Jed. You know what I mean?
That's what we need, blood.
It's not about belittling anybody else, right? It's not about that, Jed. Yeah, it's about a unified thing. It's about that we have to see what is important to us. You know, the way what Briggy said, or the man said the thing on the television, because we gave them the power to say that. You understand me? We gave them the power that the man could have mocked the man on national TV. You understand what I'm dealing with? Right? And at the end of the day, we might be vexed that the batty boy them was there, and we might be vexed that the...
I'm not even thinking about them. Forget them.
No, I'm saying to you. I said we might be vexed that they were there, and we might be vexed that the socialists is there. But you know what? The reason why they were there, because we weren't there. You understand what I'm dealing with? We weren't there. So all the people that never come, don't in the sense you get vexed. Right, and said them, of course, the people that was there, because we should have been there.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? We should have been there. And at the end of the day, what is it going to take, right? And I'm not saying this directly I'm saying this to all the African people them out there in London town who's listening to this. What is it going to take for you to get up off your backside, yeah, right, and stand up for the rights of your people? Because you know what? It's all well and good us sitting down in our little rooms and our little things and our little corners and say, oh boy, it ain't me, right? But remember, you know, them people that were dead could have been your family.
Facts.
Right, and it's only when it's people's direct family that people get involved. And then they look at other people to support them. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah, man. It's true, blood. True.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, blood. Also, I think one of the biggest problems as well is that a lot of us are armchair critics. We sit at home, you know, we turn the TV on and we listen to we read the newspaper and we see it and we say, oh, that's bad, you know, look at the way they treat us, look at the way they do this and do that. And then in doing that, then we go out the street, we stand out in the corner and we open the debate up. You understand? But then we step back from the debate when it's time to defend it. And then stepping back, we leave a gap, a space, which these people always seem to jump into. You understand that they're sitting there waiting for the opportunity. And that's something that we need to hold on to. Because as the brother just said, as Kwaku just said a minute ago, what's it really gonna take to get us out there, to get the people them out on the street or whatever it takes? You understand? Maybe it's gonna get down to the point where possibly we have to lose, all of us have to lose a brother, all of us have to lose a sister, all of us have to lose a son before we take it on board and realize that it's our argument as well. You understand?
Serious.
But we never, somehow we seem to disconnect ourselves from it. Say, boy, it ain't it's bad, but yeah, it ain't our argument. You understand? And that's what we need to take on board. We need to check that, because it is our argument.
Well, I know people are listening now, seeing, and all I got to say is, seeing, well, I put my kind of point across, seeing, but I want to hear some people phone in, you know what I mean? Because it's not only me one got something to say, you know what I mean? I just want to hear some people phone in and hear what they got to say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but what you got to say is important too, you know, blood.
Yeah,
what you got to
yeah.
say is important, you know what I'm saying? Right? Everything a man have to say and a woman have to say and a child have to say, you know, this warrior, important. Everybody. It's very, very, very important, you know what I mean? So don't feel no way, blood, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. All right, then.
Okay, my brother.
Big up, team.
Yeah?
All right, Briggy.
All right, but you take care, yeah?
Yeah, man.
All right. London Town, what we're going to do, London Town, now, we're going to go into some ads right now, London Town, yeah? All right, we're going to get into some ads now, London Town, yeah? And what we do, we'll catch you back up after the ads, yeah? If you want to phone in, yeah, and talk about the march, basically, yeah, or if we should have marches or if we should leave them alone, yeah? 0958 298 669, yeah? And we don't want to hear no swearing, no cussing or anything. We just want to deal with things with intellect today, intelligence, yeah? Anyway, live at number 0958 298 668, yeah? And I'll catch the bum system and back up after the breaks, yeah? Peace.
Hot Squad. 91.6 FM.
Okay, London Town, welcome back on the other side, Black Spiritual Mental Physical Regeneration Show. Genesis Radio, the community station here, Brother Kwaku from Power Jam, also Brother Mike from Power Jam. Right now we're showing Unity, radio station Unity at the end of the day, because we're all educational program hosts. And basically we're here because we was earlier today, we went on a march. Okay, London Town, yeah? Okay, anyway, I'll tell you what, I'm going to a little bit later, but it's about you, London Town, because really we just want to hear your views still, yeah? And we've got a live link, we're going to take this link, yeah? Hello, Genesis Radio.
Hello, my name's Princess, yeah?
Okay, Princess. Where you calling from, Princess?
New Cross.
Okay, sis.
Yeah, I was on the march today.
Okay.
And I don't think that marches should be banned or anything like that. I mean, any way that black people have of getting a point across, we need to use that, you know, to put our point across as far as I'm concerned. It was disappointing to know that a lot of people didn't turn up, etc., etc. And it was good to see, you know, like yourself and the gentleman in the studio and Curtis, etc. But we need more unity amongst ourselves. I don't know if it's going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, there's enough time when people could do something and they haven't been doing it. There's enough opportunity. And at the end of the day, as a woman with a child, you understand, this could have been, my child could have been, you know, like Stephen Lawrence or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? And as far as I'm concerned, we need to sort of unite on certain points. You know, even if it doesn't affect us as such, we are a people. You understand that we need to come together. The promoting side of the march, yes, that did fail, as far as I'm concerned, because enough people I was talking to, they didn't even know about it. You understand? So we need to sort out the promoting of the whole thing for a start. But what point came up today when me and my brother was talking while we was marching? Basically, as far as I'm concerned, I think I'm quite shocked at the fact that people are not moved by the things that they're seeing, the things that they're reading, the way that the whole thing is going at the moment for black people in this country. I'm quite shocked that some people can sit down and fold their hands.
You know, sis, to me, it's like a colonial mentality, because you see, it kind of reminds me of like Jamaica when the man comes to the hospital and everyone's just looking at him.
Exactly,
you know
and even the black people themselves,
so
because we're not educated, we can't relate to the history of where we're coming from and how it affects us now. You understand what I'm saying? Because where we're coming from affects how we behave towards our one another, etc., etc. So if we don't understand where we're coming from, if we're not educated in that way, and if we don't want to be educated, because at the end of the day, some people don't want to know. Some black people don't want to know. You understand? They prefer to do other things because they cannot see. They've got no sight.
But like Big T said earlier on, some people, once they're working and everything, they think to themselves, yeah, well, it's got nothing to do with us.
Because they've got no sight. They've got no sight. We're not going to be working all the time in this country. Whether there's jobs or not, black people ain't going to have the chance to work all the time. And this is what they need to understand. We're in this country and it's not ours. And as long as we don't take responsibility for ourselves as people. Somebody else has got the responsibility. If we haven't got it, someone else got it. You understand? So they're going to be running things. And whether we like it or not, if we don't come together as a people, you understand? Because I find it quite... I mean, when we go down there today, I couldn't believe, you understand what I'm saying, that there was just a handful of people. For something so serious, something that is becoming, it's right up in our face. You understand what I'm saying? But it's right up in our face, and we can't see it. We can't see it at all.
Yeah,
but, you know, the point I want to make is that basically, the people that can see what's going on, because, you know, like the gentleman with you now, when he was there taking the mic and trying to get our perspective across, you understand what I'm saying? People was kind of like, they weren't backing him. You understand? It was a handful of us backing him because he was saying what we wanted to hear, because it is a black thing. You know what I mean? It's no social business, and them things ain't got nothing to do with us now.
It was a little struggle to get the little microphone from the minute Kwaku. You know,
and then they take it back from him.
Yeah, for real.
You understand what I'm saying? When he's making the proper points, because that's not what they wanted to hear.
No, they didn't want to hear that.
They didn't want to hear that, and this is the thing. That wasn't why they were there, but we were there for that, and that's why we wanted to hear that. And it's a good thing that he's got the stamina, or he's got the sight or whatever to put these points across, because we need more men like him.
For real,
You understand it? And at the end of the day, we don't want this. We don't want people to get disillusioned. Our Genesis and all them with it. This is what we need. You understand? And although the struggle is hard for the few of us, the point I really want to make is that us who can see what's going on, we have to understand, okay, that we can't fold our hands. We can't fold our hands, because, as the Bible says, many are called, right, but few are chosen. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
Right? So the few of us that are chosen and can see what is going on, we just have to carry on. You understand? Me now wait till something happened to my child before me decide that this I got up. Although me can see really and truly, you know what I mean? You're on your own to a certain extent.
And plus this as well, me and Brother Kwaku moves downstairs with reason and that. And I mean, sometimes, you know, like, even as educational presenters, we feel like we're there by ourselves, man.
We are by ourselves,
You know,
because I'm just finishing my degree this year. Well, I'm just in the process of finishing my degree this year, and if I didn't take it up, I wouldn't be the woman that I am now. You understand? And education, you can't really put a price on something like education, because you're bettering yourself as a human being, and then you can take yourself forward to help other people, your community, and your culture, etc. It's only bettering yourself. You understand? Knowledge not going to harm nobody. And even coming down there today, when the gentleman in the studio was doing his thing and he was backing him up, there was another brother with the banner, and I had to reason with him, and when I finished reasoning with him, then him see what me I say. You understand what I'm saying? So all is not lost if even one person gets an enlightenment.
For real, but the highlight of the day, to be honest, is when Kwaku dragged something from the brother's hand.
Yes.
And me just make sure we put my hand around him, secure him, make sure
exactly,
we deal with
which is
him.
what we're supposed
You
to
know
do,
what I mean?
big him up, because he's
Yeah,
doing
for
something
real.
sensible, and it's for our cause.
Yeah, that's it.
Us and our children.
Yeah, man.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's the truth, still, sis.
You know, but we just have to all up with. You understand what I'm saying? We have to all up with. I mean, I know really and truly if, you know what I mean, if it's a team, we're going to win. You understand? But while we're here, we still can't sit down and fold our hands. Because we're here. You understand? Yeah?
Yeah, sister, we're going to go to here, you know, sis. You know me, I was drawing inspiration from.
Go on.
Right? Because, you know, like myself, Brother Martin, we, you know, historians, you know. We do a lot of research into history and things like that. And what I always draw inspiration from is Marcus Garvey. Yeah? Because Marcus Garvey got up off his bum one day, was in Jamaica, and he noticed that in Jamaica, that black people in his time was at the lowest scale in society within Jamaica, right? And then he thought, is it like this all over the Caribbean? So he traveled to other Caribbean islands, and he noticed that there. Then he went to the South Americas, and he noticed that there. Then he went to North America, and he noticed it there, right? And so Marcus Garvey decided at a very young age, right, that I'm gonna do something about this. You understand me? Yeah. And right now, Marcus Garvey live within you, me, Martin, Briggy.
Yeah.
Enough away, you know.
For real.
Right. And the position that Africans were at that time, we're not at that position anymore.
No,
we've moved a stage further, right? And the position that we are at now, those of us who's gonna put the fight out, right? When our children them come behind us, hopefully they'll be at a higher plane. You understand what I'm dealing with?
This is what I'm saying.
So it's not a lost cause, sis.
That's
it's not,
right.
We will win. It's just got everything take time, you know what I mean? I remember saying, you know, God depend for we side, you know that.
You know what I'm saying? From where of him, you understand that we can recognize that because he's the higher power. You understand? From we can recognize that really and truly is a consolation. You understand? So even though we're going things run the way it run today, I mean, at the end of the day, as the song said, at the end of the day, somehow, somewhere, we have to overcome.
We'll overcome, sis. All it just takes, right, is for us as a people, right, to say, listen, look, I ain't going to the dance tonight. I ain't going to the rave tonight. Or say, right, I'm going to the rave tonight, but I'm making sure tomorrow I'm getting up. You understand? Because we go out last night, and we got a Lennox Lewis party last night, and I 6 o'clock this morning me get in. Right? But me make sure me get up.
Yeah, make a sacrifice.
You understand my deal?
But you get up because you could see the meaning and the reason why you had to do it.
Because we can't go dance up and have a nice time, and then something as important as, you know, a lot of people don't march, right? And I can understand why a lot of people, because I was on the march, a sister came to me and she said to me, you know, I'm only going to march down to Brixton police station because any sign of trouble, and I'm leaving. Yeah, and I turned to the sister and I said to her, listen, me come here for march. Yeah, if they want to beat me and take me away, me come here for march.
Well, listen to me, right? Yeah, and I was there.
Make them believe, say, right? Just because them have them little button and them kill a few man, right? That go frighten me because me have to dead. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but and the thing is as well, one of the guys was saying to me, you know what I mean, you consider taking pictures, ain't you frightened? They're taking pictures of you, they will use the picture and kill you or whatever. What I said to him was, at the end of the day, okay, if they want to kill us, they're going to kill us.
Listen,
you understand? But we have to stand up.
You see, black people, those people, they kind of, you know, you have to see with them. They don't know the law. The law of the land is this, that that was a legal march. Don't think that march has gone. You don't think that we can just get up and say, well, we're going to march. And it goes in an orderly fashion.
Yeah, and
if they want to take a picture.
Yeah,
right,
but you see, this is the point that I'm making. People don't know these things. They're not educated enough. They're not experienced enough in moving around and mixing with people that know what's going on. They think that the march, we just say we're going to march and we just march. We don't have to apply nowhere. This is what I'm trying to say to you. If people would take the time to educate themselves, you know what I mean, and mix with people who are educated then, or people who have knowledge, or people who have experience, people who are doing something. You understand? Then we talk amongst ourselves, and just like you passing it over the information, people can hear that, you know, you don't just have a march. You understand? But at the end of the day, this, as it said previously, right, and I back it up 100%, from you have picnic, right, you have children, whatever you want to call it, you understand? You can't afraid no more as an adult. No, you can't have the stupid fear. You have to go to that because you have to protect something. You're responsible now.
That's right.
You understand? You're responsible. And really and truly, you don't have to march for them to do nothing to you. These people that died before wasn't marching and dead. Stephen Lawrence wasn't marching. He might go on yard. You understand what I'm saying? And them still gone for nothing. So whether them take picture, whether you're marching and something happened, me go there today with my daughter. You understand? And we sacrifice ourselves. If anything did happen, we protect ourselves as best as we can, but we have to sacrifice ourselves. If something happened, it happened.
It's true. And besides, anyway, the march is nice anyway because it made me lose a few pounds, you know?
Exactly, me
put
too.
A little weight. Me and Briggy do a little run there. I tell you, a 2 plate of rice and peas me name today, you know?
Well.
You know, see, so...
For real.
It is nice still for really.
It's got positive points. For me, it had positive points. I mean, it could have been better, okay? But I did what I could do today. I never waited till tomorrow to say, well, I'll go and do it tomorrow. And next time them doing it. I feel good because I did what I could do today. I've done it. And my daughter was with me, an example. Me set an example, me not just chat. You understand? Right? So she see that. So as a you coming up now, you understand what I'm saying? If me pass away and gone, me expect her to carry on that.
That's right. It's another thing about it is this, look, you go on marches, you don't worry about if them if you take picture because you're not inciting nothing. You go there to demonstrate, right? It's the law of the land. You're
exactly.
You are allowed to demonstrate.
That's my right. I live here and I pay council tax and everything.
Right, if them stop me, where am I going to me? Right, and then hear this now, London town, listen to this carefully, right? Yeah? One of them little socialist brother come round, yeah, this come round, this him goes, yeah, we just got a little rumor that the police are looking to and pick people off and all them thing there. You see, right there now, they're inciting trouble again.
Yes.
You understand me?
And we need to educate ourselves to know that when we have these marches, we need to tell these people,
Them
excuse
why they
me,
forget
we don't
run,
need
man.
you. You understand? We need to tell them we don't need them. You understand?
It's pure. You know me, then I go to the policeman and I tell the policeman, fight one and white boy. I say, see that guy there over there, you know, a trouble him and starting, because is it? I say, yeah, I me want to move. Because them man, they don't go come. We had children on the march, right? And they're shouting out violent connotations. You understand what I'm dealing with?
Because they're
right?
there for their own business. They're not there for what we're doing.
That's
why my man they have to take up the mic and tell them it's a black thing. You understand? It's a black thing we're dealing with, and that's why they never want to hear that. Because they're there for their own thing. And as a people, at the end of the day, to be honest with you, if they weren't there, we wouldn't have a lot of people there. You understand what I'm saying? It would have looked more shamble than it did look. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we need to get together, and when we see them come, we say, excuse me, we don't really need you today. You know what I mean? It's our march. You understand? We need to take a whole other thing and sort of go forward ourselves as a people. We don't need them for help us really and truly, because then we and them now sing the same song.
That's it.
We don't have the same history or nothing. We don't feel the same pain or nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So they really and truly, they shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
You understand? But really and truly, at the end of the day, we just need to encourage each other. The march them has to go on. Because as long as we got a way, because things ain't open to us forever. There's going to be time where they're going to say black people can't march. So why we have the opportunity, you know what I mean? You know, make hay while the or whatever the saying go. You understand? We have the opportunity now. We use the opportunity. I don't think basically that the march them we should ban them or we shouldn't bother. You know, because this is the question that's posed. I don't think that we should ban them. We've got the opportunity to make, you know, a point by using these kind of marches. And if we come out in, you know, in our big numbers as a people, they will see that enough of us is interested in the cause. This is what it is. It's not necessarily to say, well, what's going to happen. Everybody was saying today, what's going to happen, what's going to be the result after you march, then what? You understand? We have to show unity in some way or the other, and this is a way of showing it.
That's it.
You understand? So if it's even that while we march, we march to show. So we as a people will come together for our cause. It's as simple as that, yeah?
The march must be the beginning, not the end.
Exactly.
Understand? And for
But
a lot of us,
it's something. It's not something that people must ridicule and look at in a negative way.
Yeah.
You understand? Because it is a means to an end. You understand? We have to start somewhere. We're gone though, yeah? All right then, love, yeah? All right.
Okay, peace.
Yo, OG Briggy's in the house, and guess what? Playtime is definitely over. Frankie Files says so. You hear?
Okay, London Town, we've got another live link here, and we're going to basically just take this link here. Hello, Genesis Radio.
Briggy?
Yes.
It's Abdullah from New Cross.
Okay, Abdul.
Salam alaikum.
Yes, brother. No
Yeah. I passed on this march today, you know.
Okay, brother.
Yeah, I joined in march at Kennington.
Okay, brother.
That's why I caught the march, yeah?
Okay.
I was sick at heart, man. My heart was sick. The reason why my heart was sick, man, was to see the turnout.
Boy, it make you feel naked, innit, blood, the turnout.
Boy, up to now, you know, I'm listening and my heart don't feel right.
For real.
You get me? Because I found out about this march earlier today, you know, from Genesis, yeah?
Okay, People's Talk, so yeah?
Yeah.
Really cool, yeah?
And I made an effort to go down there and support and everything, and I was sick. I couldn't believe. I just couldn't believe, you know? And I've been to nightclubs.
Ram, packed.
You know what I mean? Blood, I don't know. I really don't know. But all I know is enough respect to Genesis, enough respect to all the black people that's doing positive things out there. Don't give up, okay? Do not even consider that you are alone, because you are not alone, okay? Just hang in there. You know what I mean? Hang in there. There has to be some form of light or something. It can't be this way. You know what I mean? It just can't be. You get me?
But don't worry, man, you know what I mean? Because the forces that's pushing us, man, you know, we wait in control of it is more powerful.
That's right.
Even if we get weak, you know what I'm saying, too, we get overridden strength.
And last thing, Briggy, right? It has to be said, white man cannot have our interests at heart.
For real?
Yeah? And until we can understand that, then maybe, you know, maybe we might be able to like link up.
But like I say, like Brother Kwaku said before, still, yeah, and I was saying still, yeah, like the lack of us being there, or lack of members from different parts of the community who say that they're there to help the community. If they were there, then them social presidents wouldn't have to be there. And if there was more G's off the street, the little gangster brothers, the ones who go up and down and rob each other, yeah, if more of them was there as well, we could have run them little punks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
All I can say is that we seem to be very complacent at this moment in our lives. This is the best that black people has had it in their life.
Boy, in England,
in the Western Hemisphere. Yeah? Mortgage, cars, jobs, you name it. This is the best. And right now, a man's checking or a woman's checking, boy, I've got too much to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of things that's involved in this.
Yeah, brother, definitely.
It's deep. You know what I mean? It's deep. It's not just on the surface. We're dealing with this thing, yeah.
Yeah, blood. But you know, that's the reason why, blood, we love input still, because you know what I mean. When the brothers them are phoning, it's nice when the brothers them can, you know what I mean, give us some input still, said speed, blood. Because no one ain't smarter than anybody. No one's better than anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway,
we're all working together.
Briggy, best believe you, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's safe stuff, blood. Yeah, you take care, yeah.
All
right, peace, blood.
I'm Frankie Dancehall Paul. Whenever I'm in London City, I listen to OG Briggy with Conscious Vibes from the youth of the days.
Okay, London Town, we've got another live link. We're going to take this link here. Hello, Genesis Radio.
Good evening, it's Dawn from Hackney.
Good evening, Sister Dawn.
Good evening to the brothers in the studio with you.
Okay, sis.
Okay, I was on the march today.
You was at the march today, yeah?
Yes, I was, with my friend and her daughter.
Okay, sis.
And I was very disappointed at the turnout.
Okay.
And I was discussing it with another member of another person who was marching, and she was saying that Ezekiel in Peckham drew 800 people, and they had to pay. Now, doesn't this show you what the state of our people? We are so complacent. Now, our brothers and sisters are dying. And what I actually said on the march in the hearing of the policeman, that the turnout has given them the license to carry on. It's given them license.
Plus, a lot of people's using Mother's Day as an excuse as well, you know what I'm saying?
No, I got up early this morning. I cooked my mother her breakfast. That is no excuse. I did that. I did what my mother usually does. I did it for her today, and I still came out.
But anyway, Mother Day is a 365-day thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
So
that's
really,
what I said to my mum this morning.
All this little one day Mother's Day, just like Christmas and the rest of the little holistic, devilish stick business.
That's right. I said to my mother, every day between us is Mother's Day, but I need to do this. I do need to do this. When I came back and I told her, you know, about the turnout, she said, what did I say to you? Why are you putting yourself on the line for black people? They're not going to appreciate it. Now, I still want to say no. I feel we should march. We can't have our men dying like this, and our women.
That's it.
This cannot carry on. What other community is suffering death in police custody like us? I mean, come on, can you see this happening to the Jewish community or the Indian community? These people would be out in force.
That's it. See, because they see themselves as a community, as one body.
Oh, please.
And we're just all on the individual. But as I just said a minute ago, really, if we want to talk about Mother's Day and support our mothers, there's no better way to support your mother than to protect her sons and to protect her daughters. You can't say you're with your mother.
This is why I said I was coming, because mothers have lost sons and daughters.
That's right. And see, this Mother Day is Cape now, right?
Yeah.
Is that like a European thing, see?
Yeah, we know
right,
that.
Because listen, you know why them have Mother's Day? Because most of them mother them when them get old, them fling them in them look old age pension a yard.
That's
see,
right.
When you got
and
African
we're doing it now.
and the Caribbean and
all
them place there, right? Black people look after them all. That's prevalent within our culture. That we look after our own people.
Yeah.
The whole people, them will look after the whole people. You know what I mean? So them look at Mother's Day, follow where them I go. Every day is a Mother's Day for me. Every day me pray and hug up and kiss up my mother and I phone her every day. And she there at Jamaica, she there. So me then go with them look at folly.
Well, all I'm saying is that the lady was coming around with the placards, and I refused to take one, because as far as I'm concerned, I was there for Oscar Okoye, and there was nothing saying his name. There was no picture of him, apart from the handheld leaflets I saw some women with.
We didn't hear his name until we hit Downing Street, and that was 2 hours after we started the march.
And hold on, and not only that, they were so organised, they collected all their placards after. Now, come on. There has to be a time when we say, no, we don't want your help.
Yeah.
Gandhi did it, Martin Luther King did it. I think it's about time we woke up and say, no, we have to do this for ourselves.
That's it. Because, sister, the point that they was pushing on the march is that basically this ain't a black thing. Because when Kwaku stepped up to the microphone and started telling this is a black thing, they were trying to push it like, no, it ain't a black thing. You know, it's like, as they push it, a class struggle. It ain't about class. Black man could be any class.
I didn't even clock that. I didn't even know that was going on.
Yeah. Black man could be any class. We could be upper class and they would handle us the same way. In fact, the more money we got, the more in danger we are. So it can't be down to that alone. It definitely ain't no class thing.
Well, all I can say is that what I want to say to London Town is that I was very, very disappointed.
We all was.
We should have been out there.
Yeah.
We are too complacent. We need to wake up.
You imagine where you come from, sister. You come, all on this is.
Yeah.
You come clear from Hackney to Brixton, you know.
Yeah.
Look where you come from, sister, with your youth. You come from Hackney to Brixton, and people them in a Brixton couldn't get up out of them bed, right? You want to know why? Because they were raving too hard, yeah, and lie down in their bed. You understand me? Sleep, sweet them too much. But let them stay there in their bed, because you know what? What's going to happen is they're going to get caught in their bed.
Well, you know, that shows their mentality, and I pity them. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, peace.
We just take key in Genesis radio scene and listen to Briggy. Because I see them youth, them rough. And that's some black power thing them a deal with. Seeing people, black agent says so.
Okay, London Town, we've got another live. We're going to take this link here, yeah? Hello, Genesis Radio? Hello, Genesis Radio? Yo.
Yeah, Briggy.
Yes,
Rob
bro.
from Catford, yeah?
Okay, Rob, how you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad, you know. Remember, I was leaning up by the railings down there, over by Pizza Hut.
Yeah, you never earlier on, I never check your blood. I checked it earlier on.
It was reasoning, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was reasoning, man. But
and the next time I see you going up the road in the ride.
Yeah, well, boy, directly, right? Listen.
Go on.
I went down the place today, yeah?
Go on, blood.
And, boy, my heart was numb, Star. Seriously, I was slightly in shock. I'm not being funny, Star. Because directly, there was hardly anybody there.
For real.
Listen, and it really numbed me, you understand? Because when we went to the meeting, yeah, remember we had the meeting, not last Friday, the Friday before, Brixton Town Hall.
Yeah, go on.
And it appeared to me that there was more people there than there was actually at the march. And the way I checked it, right, all the people at Brixton Town Hall, if they had mentioned it, you're right, forget about it being poorly marketed, forget about Choice not actually saying anything. But if everyone at Brixton Town Hall had managed to, like, rear to a few of their friends, you know what I mean? Because as far as I could see at Brixton Town Hall, there was about, 250 people, yeah?
Yeah.
200, yeah, quite a few, even though a lot of them got there late. There was quite a few people at Brixton Town Hall. And it appeared to me that there was more. More people were there than there was on the march. And it really hurt me, man, when I saw it. And then they just said, the battle boy, them and the pup, I try to hijack or something, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying,
them socialists work a little pervert trying to hijack or something, man, you know what I mean, with their little strategies, just trying to dampen out our message and put their message across about class struggle.
Plus,
white man ain't got no difficulty in this society. It's his society, you know what I mean, about class struggle. The only people under difficulty is we. You understand?
I'll tell you something, blood, right? The powerfulest people we've got in our community right now is the sisters, them. Because blood, yeah, there was hardly any strong man there to even help if anything went wrong or anything like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I know, like I say, you know what I mean? I know what I personally, at the end of the day, still marching, it don't really make no sense in it, you know what I'm saying? And picketing, yeah? But, you know what I'm saying? We all should show unity when we know brothers and sisters from our communities is getting killed. And we should all be there.
Definite. Now, furthermore, you know what I mean? All right, things didn't work out too well today, yeah?
Go on, bro.
Now, this is the first march we've, in recent times that we've attempted to organise. Now, we can't keep going on and moaning that things didn't really work out. What we got to do, sit down and identify exactly where we went wrong. You know what I mean? We've got to sit down and identify exactly where we went wrong and try and work on it from there. You know what I mean? Because we can't keep on criticising all evening about what happened, what didn't go right. You know what I mean? We've got to just try and identify, and for when the next time come around now, we've got to be a bit more intricate in our planning. Alright?
For real, blood, for real.
You know, we've got to be a bit more detailed in our planning and forget about choice, because as your brethren said, he said choice has got a lot of politics to deal with, and certain things they can't even really say over the air. You understand? They can't really uplift us out of our ignorance as much as they perhaps. I'm not sure if they would even want to, but they got to be careful. You understand?
No, man, it's not that they wouldn't want to, man. Yeah.
They got to be careful. There's a lot of politics involved there. You know what I mean? Because they can't really. For example, they couldn't have a deep talk show like some of the talk shows you have. You know, like we have on Genesis and that. They couldn't attempt to do that. You understand?
No, yeah. This is Kwaku speaking, blood.
Well, oh, respect.
Otep, man. Now, the thing about it is this, blood. It's not that Chase wouldn't want to certain things, you know. Remember, said Chase apply for them big area the other day, you know, and turn them down again. You know what I mean? Right? And they trying to go about things legitimately, right? But they know that if Choice was to get a London-wide network, Capital Radio, Radio 1, all them other stations would have to sign off.
Yeah, would have been threatened.
Because what is frightening enough, the most white people listen to Choice.
Thank
That's
you.
what I'm dealing with, right?
Listen, they ride me work for you, Papa, and me deliver to enough business, you understand? I pass with me deliver, see? I mean, I deliver to enough businesses, and what do I hear early in the morning? A lot of these white businesses playing. What do you think they're playing?
Choice.
Thank you. Because they know the black people have the rhythm and the charisma, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're good at everything. Everything we've got a chance to do, we're just the best at it.
Yeah, well...
You understand? And they love us, really. They know they're racist, and they love us.
The only thing we're not best at, though, is marching for our cars, though, innit?
Yeah, well, I don't lie, as we could see today.
Yeah, listen, believe me, we're good at raving and all them things, that we're not good in organising our defence, you know what I mean?
Same.
You understand? Because like my brother said earlier on, right, the march should be the start of it, not the end, man. And for many of us, it is the end of it, you know what I mean? So you did that on the march, bro?
Huh?
You did that on the march?
No, listen, when I saw that, right, it just really upset me, man. It made me, I was in slight shock, to be honest.
But, brother, listen to this now. Brother, listen to this. I wonder...
And when the battle boy then, when I said the battle boy then, when people was holding up the socialist worker banners.
Briggy came over to me at the meeting point, yeah, because I didn't know what Briggy looked like.
Yeah.
I knew what I looked like, and he came over to me and said, Kwaku, and I said, yeah. And he said, boy, oh man, I don't even feel like going on this march here, you know. And I said the same thing, and my brother said the same thing. And but then we said, nah, man, because like the sister them is here, and boy, somebody have to protect them, you know what I mean, in case of anything, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we're here to support the family. And, and if everybody have that feeling, then there would have been no one there. You know what I mean?
True comment. Well, I'm
but
quite
we don't say you kind of feel that way that you never march, that's why you have 4D.
Where's that?
No, I say, me know you kind of feel that way still, you know what I mean? Differently.
But like, but I was genuinely numb, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I actually went, just to show you my concern, I went to the meeting at Brixton Town Hall, right, Lambeth Town Hall, yeah? I went to that meeting, so directly I went there today, and to think that there was less people there than there was at the town hall, I couldn't believe it. I was in shock, sir, trust me. That's the only reason why I didn't go. It weren't that, I didn't want to go again. I was in shock, I genuinely was, because I was leaning up by the railings by Peter, you understand?
Yeah, I understand
boy,
what you're saying,
it just took me by surprise to think that there was so little people there, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest with you,
if it was a Beanie Man dance, if it was Shabba or one of them, idiot like Shabba who just chat slackness, you'd have seen about 6,000 people there. You know, I'm not going to diss Beanie Man, but everybody know that Shabba chat is rubbish when he's ready, you know what I mean? And the chat is slackness, you know what I mean? Enough people would have been there, you understand? Yeah?
Well, you see, that's what I'm saying, blood, right? You have to, you see, anytime you hear Europeans pushing something, run away from it. You understand me? Anytime you hear Europeans pushing something that is black, run away.
It's not in our interest. That's right. Anytime they're pushing something to us.
You understand me? Because that's what they want us to do. You see, my argument is this, right? And this is my statement to the world, Jed, right? Educate your child as an African child to get into the sciences of the world, to get into being doctors, to inventors, creators of things, builders, right? Physics, some different form of agriculture.
For real, all the things we created anyway.
Because the people them we created. That's right. Because the people them who's controlling them things is the people them who's running the planet, Dred. You understand my deal with?
I don't lie.
And that me I defend.
Well, that's why it was so important for them to destroy our minds, isn't it?
What I want to say, right, blood, to London Town is this, right? That the march was about the killing of a black man, a 50-year-old black man who could have been any one of our father, right? Yeah.
For real.
Or our uncle, yeah, or a big brother, yeah. You understand me, right? He was going home, yeah. They stopped him in his car. They said they stopped him for drink and drive. Next minute, the man was in a coma. You understand me? Me want to know what kind of drink him when I drink.
Boy.
You understand what I'm dealing with? And that's what the march was about today. So it could have been any of us in our car, because that is something that's prevalent to happen to us. We all get stopped in our car, even our sisters. You understand me?
For real respect, man.
You know what I mean? And boy, I'm a cry for the family, Jano. You know, see it?
Yeah, X amount, man.
But respect still, I'll put you back onto Briggy, man.
Yeah, man.
Rob, man, any more input, blood?
Well, as I said, we just got to see exactly where we went wrong this time. All right, we can possibly put it down to lack of communication to the community. So next time, yeah, if we got if the communication is far more thorough, yeah, and we get a poor turnout, then we know our people are still ignorant. You understand?
Yeah.
If we get a poor turnout, that means our people are whatless, and them idiot, they might as well just carry on going Ezekiel's and listen to slap music every night and all that stupidness, you know what I mean? And it will be rude, but that would be upsetting, you know what I mean? But if we communicate it more thoroughly next time and we get a poor turnout, we know there's something definitely wrong with our people. But on this occasion, we can perhaps use the excuse to some extent of poor communication, yeah? We didn't quite promote it perhaps as good as we could have, yeah? Would you agree with that? To some extent we can put it down to that.
Yeah, we can put it down to that, yeah. Yeah, it's true.
But next time round now, all them little nooks and crannies have to be sold up watertight, so that can't happen. So if there's a poor turnout, boy, there's nothing we can say, you know, we just have to cuss off old man driving up and down. They just want to run down vanity and stupidness like that, you know what I mean?
If it gets on like that, then boy, we want to forget about the educational program and everything, man. Just leave everyone and run wild. Because they're just playing straight into the hands of the beast, or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, the slave master, the beast. All the same.
It's true. And dance, business and dance, that.
It's not everyday occasion thing, you know what I mean? It's just like a one thing, you know.
Thank you.
You know, so people can't rave, you know.
For real?
For real. And there's nothing wrong with raving and them things.
Yeah, but I know every week we march, I know every month we march, I know every 6 months we march. You know what I mean?
I look for one day march, I look for one
Thanks
day
about
march.
the man should have just come in on that, for real.
Look for one day march and nobody can turn up to look for one day march.
No, but man, because it was warm. Because the weather was warm.
Every week night moves ram out, you know. Every
Thanks about
week that God sent, he ram
it did that. It ready.
Right? And you see some of the same faces there, because I leave with them places there. You understand me?
Okay.
One march business. Listen, I do my little comedy, you know. I don't want my people them to believe, say, that I'm dealing with a self-business in a day.
Same.
And on a self-business, I deal with them. I deal with my people, because my youth, them, I grew up in this society.
Respect.
You know what I deal with? I mean, I deal with just me. I niece them, I'm a bridging them, youth them, right? And my youth them, and all them something them, and my people them dready. I mean, another thing for no great adulation. I mean, this thing for the liberation of I and I people them differently.
For real.
And people, black people, they want to wake up.
For real, definite, man.
You say wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed.
Yeah, well, probably, number two, probably because the weather was warm, yeah? X amount of man want to be posing in their big rides, isn't it, with the roof down and shit like that. You know what I mean? All them something there. You understand? Like how the weather was warm. Man said, nah, bro, boy. Tomorrow I want the daughter them to see me on road still.
Well, if that was the case, the man posing on them big ride, them just drive the big ride behind the march.
Oh, well, I don't like it, man.
And blow some on.
No, thank you, boss. Yeah, man, but that's it. We got to identify all the problems, yeah, and just make the next one watertight. That's all I'm saying to you, and I'm off, man.
Nice one, Rob, yeah?
All right, X on. One of them there. Lick them on.
Yeah.
All right.
Station. Genesis is a God station. I and I Rasta say so. Sin, settle. It's easier.
Okay, we've got another live. We're going to take this thing. Hello, Genesis Radio.
Yeah, Briggy.
Run.
Yeah.
What happened to you, blood?
Well, I was waiting out there back and as the brother who's just speaking. Myself and him was reasoning, you know, and he's saying this sad thing. I was so surprised. And another sister was talking to me and she said, Ron, you're going to the march. I said, listen, the way I feel, I don't even think I'm going nowhere, man. Right? Then I run down by the station, catch up the march, and then I feel so, there were more police than the marchers.
You know, man.
And, boy, I was dumb sick, man. You know, because I don't even know how to explain myself, you know. You know, because as the brother said just now, it was Beanie Man going on in slackness. They are the only for black people. You know, there were more black people going the opposite way than the marchers. And as I told you before, the amount of police, there was more police than the marchers them there, you know. Yeah. Yeah, the police is marching, boss. When the police is marching, But you see the inspector show Briggy there, when we been stand up there, I show Briggy the inspector, who say he assumed it's only about 200 people could be there.
And he was right, wasn't he?
Of course he was right. You know?
It's like them and whoever had planned to set up, man,
I don't know, you know, but I don't know what's going on. I think, and I want to say, where these hoodlums, the Nation of Islam was, they were by, a few of them little crackers been by Brixton Troop Station. The pack of hoodlums them, right? Because they always peace, salam alaikum, right? And when they want we join up with them, we black people, and they just single out themselves and they stand with it. Huh? Where were them? All the crackers them, listen man, I feel so thing that I didn't take time and I just come back home, man. Because I was so mad, I just coming back and just, because when I look and see what's going on and we black people, outside there, I mean the brother said, who rave have to do with it? It's a nice day, you could get up and come out. Because it could be you, me, your cousin, anybody.
Yeah, Ron, right, there was 3 brothers from the Nation of Islam there still, yeah?
3?
Yeah, but we don't know what happened to them, but maybe they were phoning and tell us, yeah?
3, I passed with about 5 of them by the station there. The little crackers them hiding behind the Nation of Islam. You watch when I see some of them.
I don't know about that part of it, but what I know for sure, Ron, there's 3 of the brothers them walking with us here.
3 of them?
Yeah,
only?
Yeah, but still, Ron, but they were there. No matter what, still, they were there. They were there representing still, yeah?
But I don't see none of them. I see them by Brixton Police.
Mind you, after a while they disappeared somewhere, yeah? But what happened to the rest of the brothers and sisters from the rest of the groups them that are out there, so-called groups there to educate black people and fight against wickedness and everything like that? Where were they?
I don't know. And even the brother they were with you there, we see there with you in the you went to Lennox Lewis. Where that big punk been? This concern him too.
Yeah, no, he's saying that where was Lennox Lewis?
Where was Lennox Lewis? Are you black outside and white inside? Which one?
Well, the thing about it, I don't even think Lennox did know about it still differently. But I not defend him, I not defend certain things still, but I don't even know if he knew about it. You understand what I'm dealing with?
I respect what Brother Andy do. He do his best. I would say he's organized properly, but I'm not going to condemn him.
But in Lennox's defense, he does do a lot for the black community. You know,
yeah, inward.
And he does put an input into
but he's supposed to come out there, because if he know about the party, you went to the party, boss.
Yeah.
Somebody should listen and say, well, listen, boss, there's a black march tomorrow. Your presence will be very, very accepted. You know, all these, as what these brothers said today on the program.
You couldn't even get to talk to Lennox last night, really. You couldn't really get to talk to him last night, you know what I mean? But me not defend him, so maybe him can talk about that himself differently, you know what I mean?
Yeah, let him hide himself. Everybody is out the day now.
But in what you said there about the Nation of Islam,
yeah,
not being there, right? I mean, I don't know why they wasn't there. I mean, there's 3 guys there still, you know, representing
Listen,
them.
well, you are 3 in the march here, and I passed 5 of them in the little hoodlums that stand by the Brixton Tube Station, right?
But you see, even in saying that, I mean, you can't really jump on the Nation of Islam too hard, you know, because at least...
But we are in it together, boss.
Yeah, hold on a minute, sir. Hold on, make a talk. Calm down. Now, what happened is, right, at least them send 3. Now, what happened to the people them who in a them Sunday church? Right? What happened to them? Could you, let's for argument's sake, say all the Nation of Islam came out, and all of the people them in the church came out, all the black people them in these kind of little organizations, if all of us came out today, all the celebrities and everything and came and marched down to Parliament today, do you know the impact that would have made?
I know that.
You understand what I do? Because funny enough, you know, I had a conversation with a Christian woman yesterday. She said to me, where are you tomorrow? Right, because you know them like to invite you up to the church. So I said, well, I say, I go up on a march tomorrow, you know. So she said, for what? Some say, me explain to her what it's about. Some say, why, you come? She goes, oh, well, I forgot church.
Yeah.
She got to go to church. Young sister, you know.
Yeah.
I said to her, well, boy, while you are kneel on your knee,
you better die.
God for come help me. Me gonna walk on my 2 foot down the street and ask God to follow me. You understand me, David?
Yes, boss.
Right? Because at the end of the day, right, I ain't against nobody praising their God because I'm a God man myself. You understand me? Right? But there comes a time, Dread, right, when you got to get up. Because remember, say, you know, if anybody thinking God's going to come from the sky and save them, forget it.
You better forget it.
Right? Because God give us this planet.
Hey.
And him help those that help themselves.
That's it.
Right?
I believe in that, boss.
The European, you know what I'm doing? Him got him church on Sunday daytime, you know. And then in the week now, him build up him weapons.
He do it
defend
evil.
what I deal with. You understand my deal? What are we defending?
We defending vanity.
And I talk about, everybody I talk about is meditation and this whole mysticism, right? And all the mysticism and the meditation them are going, right? Them still a drive out of a car and a kill with. So what do I talk about?
Yep.
What am I deal with? London, what am I deal with, man?
Vanity.
Vanity, Dread.
Vanity
in all kind of farms.
And when you touch one, you scrub the face.
For real.
They don't want to kill me. They want to kill me, but they don't want to kill the opposition.
That's right.
Because I don't know, man. These little hoodlums and the Nation of Islam, I was really, let her come with and instead of selling me anything again. Because I feel so strong today. When they see only a handful. I thought, the inspector know what you were saying at the meeting. He know what he was saying. Because he know we so divided. He's on a front view going on with at the meeting. There were more police in the van outside where I parked my car at the back of police station waiting. Because they know, it's only, you know, if they have 50 black people, they're going to have 51 police. Yeah.
All right, Ron. Enough respect, Ron, for you.
Right.
Yeah? All right, Ron. Look
all right.
You take care.
Yeah, cool.
My name is Leo X. Chester. I want to big up Briggy for the Black Spiritual Mental Regeneration Show. I'm out of here. Peace.
So we gonna do it like this.
Okay, London time. We've got another live. We're going to take this thing here. Hello, Genesis Radio.
Yes, Briggy.
Yes.
It's construction.
Yes, construction. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, safe, you know.
Yeah, man. Long time no see.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Little bit. Go on.
I'm going to look certain things out here now.
Yeah, go on.
Right? Because I hear enough people vexed with the organization for not turning up.
Go on, Brad.
You hear enough man said that they was not going to go on march if there was white people on it, but then still go up on the march. Yeah. Me hear people said the march is a joke. Right?
Go on.
Now, look at this thing here now for real. Yeah?
Go on, brother. Give your view, yeah. Go on.
Right. If we're going to do a march, why don't we march to a place when the man's in the place? Yeah? Everybody knows, say, it don't be there on a Sunday. Right? So it ain't going to cause nothing. The only people you're going to see up there is tourists. Right? The most amount of tourists you're going to see up there.
Next thing, if we're going to have a march, have it in the week when they have to do their work and things like that, where it cause the most amount of disruption in the place. Right? Will cause the most amount of disruption when they can't get to work and they can't get to the parliament and they can't do nothing. In the week. Right? In the week, not on a Sunday. It's a joke thing because that's the most safest march you're going to have when a man want to make a career move. Because me look at who had to benefit out of that if anything dropped either way. Right? Andy Morrison did say on the meeting he was having white people in the march on your show the other week. He done say that. So people don't be surprised the white people was there. It don't invite them in from time. Yeah, well, right? That's why the organizations ain't going. It was done said from time white people going to be on the march.
Yeah, but Ron did arts. But then, anyway, hopefully, and we know Andy's listening anyway, yeah?
Yeah, we know, but he say on your show the day he was in there that he's invited certain other groups to be on the march because they're experiencing marching. Yeah, so from the time they was in it, me not going that because it's not a white march, it's not a black march anymore. Yeah? I just say certain man making career moves with them marching.
I understand what you're saying still.
Yeah, because man knows that if it went off nice, man on television, your march went off nice. If it went off badly, man get enough job because man have to turn up at court. Right? So you got to look at who was going to benefit out of the march all the time. You go right? Having it on a Sunday where no trouble going to happen because everybody's on a layback. Have it in the week now when enough people get distressed because they're stuck in traffic jam, can't get to work. That's the time when the march has the biggest impact. Well, everybody else marches in the week.
Yeah.
Everybody else marches in the week. Nurses and all them other march in the week. They don't march on Sundays.
Yeah, Kwaku, yeah. What's your name again, blood?
Construction. You know me, Kwaku.
Yeah, construction. Hear what now, right? I know what you're saying differently. In certain respect, beloved, you're right. But what you have to remember, right, that marches, right, are sanctioned by councils and by the government. Yeah,
how was that?
Yeah, and marches are only on the weekends, Saturdays or Sunday.
Yeah, but over that as well.
You understand what I'm dealing with, right? So it's probably the day that they got to do the march.
Yeah, but it's a sense of if you're going to march on Sunday, march somewhere else then, because we know the parliament ain't going to be up to parliament.
But here I'm saying now, it's all well and good for a man to say they ain't marching because white man's going on the march. Yeah? To me, that's rubbish. Yeah?
It ain't rubbish.
Right? To me, I follow that, dread, because it's just an excuse not to go.
No, ain't no excuse to go. Because at the end of the day, man and man know how them peoples operate because we've done it before. We've been on marches before. We tell them not to come on the march. Them people come on the march all the time.
Hear me, sir. Me I defend the family. Me march. Me know why me I march.
Yeah, me know that as well.
Me march for us Osoki. Right, who are guy me hard. To him family.
Yeah.
And them drought him blows and skirt and kill him. You know I hear about no white man. Listen, if we just turn up there in a mass, them look a blue foot, they would have gone about them business.
Yeah, me know
we
that
tell you that.
But me say directly,
right? If we did turn up, if we did say, all right. You know why you think the man probably invite the white people them? Because him not get no help from we. And them give help. And the man want help.
Yeah, but always
the man in the wilderness.
Said they're always ready to start trouble on the march.
Yeah, but here I'm saying to you, bro.
You're always ready to start trouble.
Right.
You can't come and say,
hear what I'm saying.
Because of this and then now because man don't turn up because they know it's a joke thing. They know it's a joke thing. That's why a lot of people ain't turning up. It's because it was a joke thing.
Brethren, you know my opinion to that? It's an excuse, Dread.
There ain't no excuse because enough of us march, enough time, enough of us go on the marches.
Me go up on a march today, me, Briggy and Martin and some other people go up on that same march. When me, Briggy and Martin link up at the corner, you know, we were disheartened, just like the other brother them who phoned in and said they felt away. We felt away. But Briggy said earlier on, there's a force working far greater than us, Dread. You understand me? And that force tell we figure. You understand me?
Yeah, always. I don't disrespect the people that went on there.
I'm saying, bro. Let me finish, bro. Please, I beg you. Right? Now, I march with the intention that, boy, if it kick off, because I ain't running from police no more, Dread. You hear me? I'm a big man. So hear me? If they want to, if my death gonna mean it leads to other marches, then me a dead, Dread. When me go down there for march today, you know, Dread, me decide to me I go for march, you know. Me not march no white boy. When we go to them, my arms all sit up. Me take away mic from boy.
I mean, arms up, boy, too.
You understand? I make them know, say, listen to the African black thing, this. And I look, batty boy, socialist folly. I'm not done
that.
that. We have
But then remember, the sister said she did all the things then, the pictures and everything. How come the people never put it out? I mean, no, so the organizers were on the march.
Listen,
so
I never go there for them.
They want to bring it out because they compromised the march.
I never go there for them in their picture. I go there to defend the family. That's what I go for. I don't think about them in their picture. Them in their picture, that's for them business.
The people then that organized the march never make sure them pictures were up front.
Yeah, but
they make sure the white thing was up front. That's a career move to compromise the march.
But who made that career move? Or whatever the career move is. That's what I'm saying to you.
The people who invite them people in.
Nah, man, I know the people. So you said the family now. I make a career move out of the death of them relative. No, man, I'm madness that, Dread.
It ain't madness, it's truth.
No, man, I follow that you talk. No, I can't defend that you talk.
You know it's true. You know, so there's enough people make enough career moves off of march.
Their own family. No, man, no, blood. Hold on. Anyway, blood, somebody else wants to say something.
You know that. That's the truth about it. You name how much people from darkest hour, from whoever, make enough moves of a career marches, enough of them.
Yeah, but blood, you know what, at the end of the day, it comes down to this, in the final analysis, right? This is Martin, right? In the final analysis, it comes down to this, which is what I said at the beginning of the show, that we create the debate, and then we step back and we allow them people to step in. Because there's no time ever when you're going to find us in numbers that white man ever has any talk. The only time he has any talk is when we don't turn up. You understand? Because the same thing Kwaku and Briggy said, there was only a few of us here today, but we made our presence felt. You understand?
Yeah, but I've been on marches where there's always been a few of us. I've been on marches like that. It's always been the same with marches like that. The biggest march we ever had was the one in Lewisham. Right? That was the biggest we ever had. Any other march since then, it's always the same amount of numbers that turned up today.
Yeah, but that's the same thing comes down to this as well. You said that the white people was going to be there, while a lot of people didn't turn up. Yeah. So then, therefore, then they've got the perfect solution to any time we decide to demonstrate, to send a couple of white people along.
Yeah, but that's all they do all the time. But they was invited in this time, though. That's the point. They was invited in.
Yeah, but we know how the white people them stay anyway.
It's a black march, period. Black march. Them black organizations ain't got no excuse. But the man them invited them white people in from the beginning.
But brother, it comes down to this at the end of the day.
Whenever the man invite them in, it ain't a black march.
Yeah, but
black people, black militants ain't gonna go on the march anymore.
Yeah, but either way, we know them people that stay anyway. Anything they have, they're gonna turn up. So what we gonna do?
Because at the end of the day, if you kept it as a black march, a direct black march.
Yeah, but brother,
and if people that turn up, that's different things.
Nah, but brother, then we're just playing semantics.
No, it ain't semantics. We're
just playing semantics because at the end of the day, they're gonna come. They're gonna come anyway.
Yeah, we know they're going to come, but it's a sense of them organizations, they ain't got no questions to answer because at the end of the day, it was a black march. Where was you on the black march? Where was you on the Million Man March then? It should have been a Million Man March or something like that. Then you'd have said, where was you when you had to be on that march? If they had said, all right, we're going to do a black march for the family, like it was said on the radio where people's demanding a black march. But then we're saying, no, we're going to bring in these people because directly these people know how to march.
Yo,
some of the time, them people in it, anything with Patty Boy in it,
Construction, right, it seems like you got argument with brother Andy Morrison, yeah?
Yeah, well, I was just saying directly from the time the man let off that vibe on the radio on your show the other week he was on there. Me just said, well, hold on a minute. So you're inviting the enemy in the march as well. Career move.
Well, maybe that's what he's doing, but he will phone up and he would answer for himself, yeah?
Yeah, all right, anyway, we're going still. Don't hold up the air.
Nice one anyway, yeah?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
All right, peace. Yeah.
To the max, this is Luciana saying, we're all in this thing together, then how can't we all just live as one, yeah? Whoa, we get off the runway when Briggy starts to play. Yes, I'm off the runway. I salute Luciano say. You're in tune to the physical station, Genesis.
Okay, then, we're going to have a live link. We'll take this link, yeah? Hello, Genesis Radio.
Hi, this is Dee from Lewisham.
Okay, B, can you turn the radio down?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah? All right. Can you hear us, sis? Hello?
and there wasn't a lot of people there, but we have to start from somewhere, you understand? And yes, I was a bit disappointed, but, you know, if black people can't stay at them yard, sitting at the armchair with the arms folded and say, yeah, it's nothing to do with me, it's somebody else's problem, well, it'll go happen to them, right? Because once one brother dead, it doesn't mean it's for everybody to come out, because who knows? Next week sometime somebody else could die, and I'm pretty sure. I'm not putting on mouth on nobody, but it will happen again this time next week, or the week before, or the week after. You know, so the people have to come out and show a stand and stand together and get together and make the people say that, you know, we're not going to stand for it anymore. How long we gonna wait around? What we gonna do, people? Are you just gonna sit there with your arms folded and do nothing at all? I mean, I would like to hear what people have to say.
For real.
You know, come on, people now, man. You know, this thing has gone on far too long now. You know, you would come out of your house, go to a party, the place pack. You pay all up to £50 to go to a club, right? And you go in a room, it's dark in there, and, you know, just stand up there for 5 hours. It took us, what, 2 hours to walk to Downing Street, Briggy?
Yeah,
was it about that?
About 2 hours, yeah.
About 2 hours, right? So, you know, it was a nice day today. God give us a nice day today. So why there were just a little bit of people there today? You know, I want to hear what people have to say. I don't want to hear no excuse, right? You know.
Because using the white man as being an excuse for not being there, that's stupidness, man.
It is an excuse. I don't care. If they want to do that, me have nothing to do with them.
I think
we're not to them country.
We're in a white man's country anyway.
Yeah, so no matter where we go, they're going to be there.
No people are talking about white this, and they're drawing dolls. And they're getting the white man's buses, they're using the white man's yard.
Right, yeah, Rob Shoulder. Every day I go work there, Rob Shoulder with them pump
I don't want to hear no phone chat, none of that stupidness.
Yeah, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. If you're committed and you're passionate for a cause, right, and this is a cause of a cause where we black brothers them are dying at the hands of the police, and if you mean business, get up off your backside and come out there. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of sitting there with your arms folded and making a lot of bloody excuses. I'm tired of hearing you lot making excuses now. I don't really care anymore, right? And there was more sisters out there than the black brother. They wanted that black man. They wanted that. Want to sit up on the backside, smoke on the coke, on the crack, right? Get up on the arsehole and come out there. You understand? I'm tired now. Jesus Christ, man.
Yes, sister.
And as for the Nation of Islam, there were 5 brothers there, and I was there because me's a member of the Nation of Islam. All right? So I was there.
Okay, sis.
But the thing is, if anybody's planning anything, they've got to let other organizations know, get together, sit down, develop a strategy, and say, yes, this is what we're going to do. Don't just plan a date and tell people. Call everybody together, sit down. And I agree with the brother that rang earlier on. Do it on a weekday where all black people take a day off work, right, and come out and go march. That will make a stand. That will say something. So it needs to be done during the week when everybody can take a day off work and go like, oh, I don't care, I take the day off. It doesn't bother me at all, really. Just one day out on the life, black people, and I can't do it. When I lay in the bed and I watch EastEnders this morning, and I couldn't come out on the yard, wow, that make me shame. Let me tell you now.
Anyway, we don't want a white man excuse today.
No, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I don't want to hear that. Batty man, they can do what they bloody well like. I had a batty man standing next to me and him make joke when the black brother they get on the thing and he was talking and he was making fun of him. I could see the police was laughing at us, right?
Yes, sister.
You know what I'm saying? They know, when I went to the meeting on the 28th, they actually said, yeah, there's only going to be 200 of you lot going to be there. Yeah. And they know for real. Because they know we're still ready. They know that all we do is make up nice, talk, and no action. And the very small minority of us that is doing something, you know, it's not going to make much of a stand, but we're doing it for everybody. We're not just doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for all the black people that's in this country.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? All the ones that are down. We're here for you, you know, so we need your help, we need your support. We can't just do it on our own.
That's it, and sister, this is Martin. Now, going back to that excuse business, we need to really check ourselves on that, because the white man is the reason why we're out there. We can't also let him be the excuse why we're not.
Exactly,
you understand?
No.
It's hypocritical.
don't use the excuse. I just thank God in a rain because I would have said the reason why I never come because I treated a rain. Right? I'm so glad that the sun did a shine today. That's why we had a handful of people out there.
We can always find a good reason why we're not going to do something. You understand?
Yeah, well, you tell me the reason why the police are killing our brothers then. What are the reasons why they're killing our brothers?
This is Kwaku, sis, Otep.
Yeah.
Now, you see, the thing about it is this. I don't think we need to tell you why the police is killing black people. Everybody know. Them just don't like we. It's just as simple as that. Them don't like we, right? And they want to keep we in we place.
All right.
You understand what I deal with?
It's true.
Right? But what I would like to push still differently is this excuse business. You understand what I deal with? Right? You can't make because you believe these people them is going to be there. That is a valid excuse why you don't come.
No.
Right?
No.
Because you know they do these things. It's strategic measures them take. It's them plan it. They think it's something them just do so.
Yeah. No,
them
no
plan it.
at all.
You understand what I deal with? Right? And let me tell you something from now. Right? Yeah, I believe in karma, cause and effect. I believe in the creator, yeah? The creator of this planet, right? The one God. And let me tell you something from now. God knows so we not like the cold. Say make sure. Say it warm today.
Yes.
And sun a shine.
Yeah,
and them still not come out.
Yeah.
So what more them want?
Brother, I couldn't tell you.
What more them want?
I don't even know what to think anymore.
It's just
I am so confused now. I don't really know what to think. Like I said, there's black people so complacent. They just sit back with their arms folded, nothing to do with me. But tomorrow, their son could get killed. And as them go on from work or whatever, and then they're gonna think, boy, oh boy, look what they do to me, so me have to go get some support.
But sister, hear this, you know. Hear this. When them a got Beanie Man, Bounty Killer and all them people there, and them a got the dance, the white man there, they stop them from go there. They stop them from go there. No London town, it don't stop you from go there. You still go there and rave, and you pin your teeth to the white man too.
Like I said, brother, I went to this Ghanaian independence dance. It wasn't even an independence. They just used it to get people there to get money out of it, right? And I paid £16 for my ticket before, but at the door they were charging £25.
It was ram, innit?
It was ram, and there was a fight, and I left. Right, I left about 2 o'clock, and as I was
black
leaving,
on black violence down there, innit? They pay you imagine that, sis?
Where I go? I said, well, it's horrible in there. And
sis, hold on a minute.
People were saying, give me your ticket, give me your ticket.
Hold on a minute, sis. You imagine that now? Them pay £25 for going and fight one another, eh?
Yes.
You imagine that? £25 for going and fight one another.
Yes, to stand up in a dark room for 5 hours or so, and they could even take 2 hours out of Sunday to be here and walk from Brixton to Downing Street. They couldn't even do that.
They'll pay £25 to kill each other, but they won't love each other for free.
And I should be ashamed of myself. I'm disgusted that just a handful of black people out there with all them nasty Caucasian and them Batman with their socialist thing. I feel disgusted, man, but I don't care, right? Because I feel very passionate about it. Because me have 2 boys, and anything happen to them, I'd hope that people will come out and give me support as well. Right? So that's why I'm there. And anytime there's any other match, I'm going to be there. I don't care where rain, snow, or whatever. Me be there.
That's it, sister. At the end of the day, we all got to have our personal agendas. And it ain't about what anybody else is doing. Because at the end of the day, we can't sit at home and think, well, my brethren ain't going down and I ain't going down. It's about where you're coming from yourself.
Time is coming to an end. You can't afford to do that anymore. You can't afford to sit on your backside and pass the buck. You can't do that. Look at people who's passionate about animals. Every day they're campaigning up for animals' rights. Some of them even get themselves killed.
That's it.
Right? Because of the way they're packing up animals unjustly. Right? And yet still,
people are lost in front of truck.
Brothers and sisters from Africa are dying every day. And we can't even get up out of our bed for a couple of hours and go down the road and take a stand. Eh?
Sister, you made a very valid point there, right? I remember I watched about a couple of years ago, about this thing about how them pack up the animal where you go kill and eat, you know.
Yeah.
Right? In a truck, and the woman go stand in front of the big juggernaut lorry and get run down.
Yes, she did.
Right? I wonder if she was a socialist.
Well, she probably was. I don't know about that. But who cares anyway? It's a shame to dead. But still, I wonder if any black man or woman it would say, why? Me prepared to get myself killed for what I did.
Sis, let me show you something from now.
Prepared to do that.
Sis, let me show you something from now. I spoke to an elder the other day, yeah? And you know the elder turned to me and said to me, he said, uno young people, them knock the fight out now. Uno don't have the fight no more.
No.
Uno weak.
You
understand me? So it's all them man who's out there, who's sniffing up this rubbish up their nose and injecting up themselves, all you black man them out there, right? Yeah? You better learn this, yeah? If you don't throw away them things there, right, and stand up strong, right, there's no future for us. Because listen, you can't expect the sister them to do all the fight on their own.
Exactly.
You understand me? The sister them need to be defended,
when they meet a strong sister, they can't deal with them. They say, why you too miserable, you too this, you too that. You know, they rather
it's true.
weakness.
But the miserable still, you know, but me loving us still, you know, me don't mind the miserable business. You know, miserable, but me loving her.
Me love the brothers too, you know.
Yeah, me love the miserable business, you know. Me won't throw the miserable business. Me never a black woman and she never miserable. Me not miserable because she not miserable.
Well, you know, it just show me a miserable woman and show me a weak man. It's a weak man make the woman miserable. You understand? All right then. Next time.
All right, nice one, Sister B.
All right then.
All right, enough respect to the max,
yeah?
All right, peace.
Yo, this is the spiritual, the mental, and the physical regeneration show with Briggy. And I love that. TCO them consciousness.
Okay, London time, we've got another live link. We're going to take this link, yeah? Hello, Genesis Radio.
Briggy, Andy Morris.
Yes, Andy. Wow. Well, Andy, you know what to do. You know what I have to say to you. You know this explain to the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot to explain. Yeah, well, I've been listening with intent. I've been lying down in my bed and listening, and I can say publicly, I was disappointed at the turnout. The turnout was a bit of a shambles. We tried our best to organise it, and to deal with a few of the comments that came over from people like Construction a short time ago about white people coming on the march and so on and so forth. Posters, there were posters of Oscar, and they were organised about 3 days ago, and unfortunately they didn't get there for some reason. So there was a lot to organise. I've been sleeping in my office working on this for the last 3 weeks, yeah, and to say that it was a career move, I think is completely wrong. And I think that if people want to come off with that kind of stuff, that kind of negativity, they should say it to me and say, well, we believe that you're trying to advance your career. And I'm not trying to do that. My career is nowhere in this field. My career is in law, and there's nowhere that the law, I will advance by organising marches and slagging off the government. And
Tell London Town how old you are, man.
I'm 20.
Yeah, and there's a lot of bigger man, older than me and you put together and all that, yeah?
Yeah, for real.
They're sitting there and doing jack shit.
Yeah, for real.
So I'm saying, when they see the youth them doing something, ready to criticise, man. But anyway, go on and they keep going.
Well, I mean, I've been doing it for like 5 years, and I've had different jobs, and I've been doing different things. But now I've decided to take some time out after doing my legal executives course and whatever. And I've been trying to do something positive. And at the end of the day, I invite people at the meeting, and people have said since they've been speaking to you that lots of people turned out at the town hall and didn't turn up to the march. I'm just as disappointed as they are, and I'm very upset that they didn't turn up. At the end of the day, I extended the invitation to white people because I know that at the end of the day, it's not something that's exclusive to black people, and anyone that wants to challenge me on that can challenge me on that. That's fair enough. But at the end of the day, I know it's a big black issue, and when Wayne Douglas died, I printed 2,500 leaflets for a vigil outside police station. How many people turned up? 100 people turned up to that vigil for Wayne Douglas.
I was there, man. I was there.
Yeah? And at the end of the day, all these people come off with this. It's just rubbish, man. It's faff. They come off with, not many people turned up and these white people were involved. Fair enough, socialist worker, and what I will say, and I will say it publicly now because I've never said it before, but at the end of the day, socialist worker, when they come along, be somewhere else. Because when these people come with their banners, black and white, fight, unite, and all this sort of rubbish, you know that it's for their own ends. But at the end of the day, what we've been doing at Civil Rights with the family of Oscar Okoye and whatever is not for anyone's personal benefit. At the end of the day, I've always said to people, look at it 3 ways. Is it for your benefit, their benefit, or mutual benefit? I think it's for mutual benefit, because at the end of the day, walking 5 miles for me, I could have been doing something else completely different. And to touch on another point that somebody else brought up about the march, there was a number of legal issues to take into consideration. Yes, okay, fair enough, John Major wasn't in his yard today when we handed in petition. But at the end of the day, in the weekdays, how many people, if people couldn't turn up on a Sunday and they're using the excuse Mother's Day, how many people do you think are going to turn up during the week without saying, oh, I've got to go to work and I've got to make a living and this, that and the other. During the week, on Monday to Friday, if on a Sunday afternoon, they're coming off with, oh, well, it's Mother's Day, or I've got to be at church and this, that and that, and they couldn't turn up today. I mean, at the end of the day, that is just nonsense as far as I'm concerned. And I know people are going to ring in after I've gone and start slagging me off and whatever, but I encourage these people to come and see me. Not to start, you know, with all this arms-ass business and whatever, but to come and see me so we can put these things together in a plausible manner. Because what I'm doing is, next year, in May, there's 4 council elections in Lambeth, in fact, all across the country. I intend to be a candidate, and anybody who wants to stand with me, is welcome to do so. I know a lot of people are probably going to say, oh, well, no, because the way this march went, you know, we don't particularly want to stand as candidates. But at the end of the day, as somebody said earlier on, God helps those who help themselves. And as I've always said, information is knowledge, knowledge is wisdom, and wisdom is power, We've got to focus that power, and if we don't focus it, no one else is going to do it for you. White man ain't going to do it for you, and just because I invited the white man to come and attend, I didn't actually go out and make a nuisance of myself by saying, look, come along to the march, I invited Nation of Islam, 3 brothers turn up. Okay, fair enough. I wrote to all of the Nation of Islams in London, West London, South London, North London, East London. 3 brothers turn up. I wrote to The Voice. Do you think we got any publicity? I wrote to The New Nation. Do you think we got any publicity? There was more white press there today than there was black press. So we've really got to look at our own shit and deal with that before we can start slagging off one another. I mean, all this nonsense about people going to raves and whatever, and then they come off with all this rubbish on a radio station to say, well, I didn't want to come because of so-and-so, or whatever. This is nonsense, man. If we're packing out these raves in a dark room as somebody else came up with just short time ago, I mean, we've really got to look at this and sort ourselves out, man. We've got to wake up and smell the coffee, because at the end of the day, at the moment, it doesn't smell too good from where I'm standing. But the thing is, I'm in it just as heavily as everybody else is, and I'm not in it for my own ends, because at the end of the day, my politics is going to be different to everybody else's. And when I stand as a candidate in Lambeth, a lot of the people that came on the march wasn't even from Lambeth. So I don't see how people can say, well, it's for his own career move or whatever, because my career is in law. It's not in politics, but I'm going to stand as a candidate. And as I said, people are welcome to stand, because I think that once we start taking control of places like Lambeth Council, particularly in a place like Brixton, which is a very, very volatile community. I mean, we've seen it with like 3 riots, 81, 85, and 95. I think that once we take control of that, and I know that the opportunity is there to do that, then I think we can look at other borough councils and help other people to get elected and start setting the pace, setting an example for other people, so that we can do these things and, you know, start advocating democratic control of police officers, start judicial reviews into the way police operate, all these kind of things that I want to do, but people come and they fight me down, internally. My own alleged brothers and sisters and whatever come and fight me down, and I wonder to myself, well, is it really worth it? Do I need to keep going on with this, you know?
Andy.
Yeah,
this is Kwaku speaking.
Okay, man.
And peace be upon you, Otep. Now listen, I heard a few things you said, and believe me, you know, I feel it for you. But you see, me, you know, me have a stance position, you know, Dreddy. Very, very stance position. And you see, me, you know, nobody, I'm not going to make because of a European or because of any homosexual or anybody. It's going to stop me from doing what I feel is right. You understand, my David?
Yeah.
You're doing what you feel is right. You see? The only thing that I will say to you, beloved, right, is this. Is that, you know, you don't need to turn to the blue foot for nothing. You don't need, because you see, it's a little thing, it's a little slave mentality that is in the crevices of our mind. We feel that we have to invite them. No, you don't have to invite. But let me tell you something now, beloved. Whether you did invite them or not, they would have been there.
Yeah, for real.
You understand me?
100%,
right?
man, 100%.
And the fact that people, you're a young man, so you're trying a thing, and you're in law, and you know there's certain little things that you can and you can't do by law. We all know that. And all these people that moves out there reeling off their mouth about what they're doing for the black community and this and that, right? I challenge them, me personally, for telling me, they give me a sufficient reason why they weren't there, right? Why weren't they there?
For real?
Right? I want to know why they weren't there, Dred. You understand what I deal with? You invite certain people, they don't turn up. Did they write back to you?
Nope.
Nobody don't reply back to you. See, to me, you know, me not care if them don't want to like me, you know. Me no business. Them not like me. Right? Because I'm a realist. I live in the real world. I don't live in a dream, Dread. Right? Enough of us is living in a dream. Yeah? You sit down there waiting for somebody over in America to come and free you. Ain't gonna happen, mate. You live at Blows on Square, England. And England you live in, you don't live nowhere else.
For real.
You understand what I deal with? So all them people there, all them people sit down in them church and in them mosque and all them thing there, and I go on with them look a folly. Right? As far as I'm concerned, yeah, there's no disrespect to them with their God and whatever they're dealing with, right? But when it comes to dealing with the reality of our people, where were they?
Yeah, for real.
Where were they, man?
Yeah,
right?
for real.
Them just left way out there. Supposing anything that happen now. Supposing anything they kick off now, and yes, me, Briggy and Martin and couple of little youth, them dead off. Where them I go do them? I don't want them march for me after that, Dread. Nobody march for me after that, Dread, when me dead.
Yeah,
you understand what I deal with? You know, so anything, listen, you, man, I tell you, Dread, wherever you do, you got you and you do it because you're doing what you feel, you're doing something good. Because at least you're doing. You understand what I'm doing? At least you're doing. You understand what I'm doing? So don't feel no way about them people that cussing you down and making their thing. Because let me tell you something from now. When the enemy is coming to destroy you, the enemy is going to look like you.
For real.
You understand me? Them not, listen, a blue foot come and do you nothing because you know it's the enemy and you see it coming. Yeah? So them coming like a wolf in a sheep clothing, Dready. You understand what I deal with? So all them people who's fighting you down, right? Yeah? They got to check themselves while they're fighting you down, Dread. I ain't fighting you down. I don't agree with certain of your tactics.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah? But I ain't fighting you down, blood. I love you and I respect what you're doing as a young man. You're 20 and you're doing more at the age of 20 than I was doing when I was 20. You understand what I'm dealing with? And I respect you for that. Because if I was like you when I was 20, trust me, right? Yeah? What happened the other day wouldn't have happened. Believe that.
Yeah.
You understand me? So you go through you and you get your law degree. And you get your masters and you turn a dapper. See? Because me I support you, yeah, youth?
For real. Nice one.
Yes, Andy.
Right,
enough respect, blood, yeah?
Yeah, man.
And to all the bigger man out there who's cussing off Andy, you don't want to be trying to help the you elevate, because he's just a little young you, and he's like Kwaku just said, Andy's doing things.
Well, like I say, right, the office address and the number was on the posters that we gave out, yeah? So if anyone wants to come and chat, whatever they're going to chat, yeah, even if it's going to be a challenge, as long as they're not going to come and try, you know, arms us and fight me and whatever, yeah, then they can do that, yeah.
You was in the office yesterday, yeah?
Yeah, I was in the office yesterday.
I phoned you yesterday, you know. It's me that phoned you and asked you.
Oh, I've seen.
It was me that phoned you.
I was sleeping in the office, man.
Yeah, because you know the mistake you make on that leaflet?
What's
was
that?
Saying Brixton Oval. You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I didn't do the leaflet, you know.
Who
but
did
I'm
it?
not trying to get out of it, but...
Well, who do it? The socialist, them?
No. It was my office. It was my office, but the thing is I wasn't there when it was printed. It was like...
Oh, see. But that's where the mistake was, you see.
Yeah.
They said Brixton. So I had to phone up to find... Because I know there ain't no library in Oval. You understand me? So that's why I phoned you.
Yeah.
You understand my David?
Yeah, for real.
But you go on through your youngster and keep up the fight here, car. Oh. You know what I mean? With there.
Yeah.
And I say, we're not going away, no? We're not going away. You understand my David?
Yeah. Yeah, nice one, Biggie.
Yeah? So don't feel like you're alone. And you know what I mean? I know that you're probably sitting on the line and in your bed and you're older and say, boy, I was just trying to think and look at my people. Don't listen, you're going to get... We all get it, man. Me get fight down, Martin get fight down, Briggy get fight down. When you're great, you know, you get fight down, you know. We're just great, you know. Don't feel no way, you know. Anytime you get fight down, you know, say you're great. You understand what I do with that?
Yeah.
So don't feel no way, roots. You just go through and you do what you do. Right? Just stay black. I mean, no one here say you're there with no white woman here, come look for you.
No. No, listen, I got her in front of me.
You can't do that anyway, Andy. You know that anyway.
Eh?
You know you can't be doing that anyway. Yeah?
What's that?
Don't white woman business.
No, I got her in front of me.
You know what I'm saying anyway, yeah?
Listen, but what I was going to say, right, is some people say, you know, I'm not special. I've never looked at myself as a special person. I've always looked at myself as a regular guy with special intentions. You understand?
Anyway, Andy,
yeah.
You want to give it a telephone number and that?
Yeah. I'll give it out, right. It's 0171 501-9394.
Yeah.
And the address is 411A Brixton Road.
Well, Andy, you do consultancy, yeah?
Yeah, I do consultancy.
So basically anybody in the community with any trouble or anything, they can give you a call, yeah?
Yeah, for real.
All right, then.
All right, nice one, yeah?
A little more, Andy.
All right, a little more.
Yeah, peace.
Yeah.
Hi, we're the young generation of Genesis. When it comes to people teaching, we want to hear the real facts. Thank you.
These days in school, we don't learn about no black history, but when it comes to Briggy's chat show, that's when we learn about real black history.
So please, don't preach, teach. Thank you.
Okay, we've got another live link, yeah? We're going to take this live link, yeah? Hello, Genesis Radio?
Yes, Briggy.
Yeah.
Abdullah again from Newcraft, yeah?
Yes, Abdullah.
Yeah, first things first, I'd like to just... enough respect to the station and the speakers that's on the air tonight, yeah?
Okay.
Because I'll tell you make things happen, yeah? And secondly, it just goes to show, you know, this March business just goes to show what we are like and how we're thinking, yeah? You know what I mean? And maybe, I'm not trying to defend nobody, but maybe, because I heard about this march today off your station. I did not see I live in New Cross. I did not see no posters. I didn't read it in no paper. I didn't hear it over no station. You get? I'm not saying it wasn't advertised through these medias, but I didn't get to hear it. So maybe London did not get to hear it. Yeah?
Yeah, but brother, this is Kwaku speaking.
Yeah.
The young brother there, he's 20.
Yeah.
He's a young man. Just come out of his teens. Yeah, he said he sent letters to certain organizations inviting them down, Dread. You understand me?
Yeah.
A man only sends certain people down. It's like a diss, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It shows the mentality.
The youth is saying that he felt dissed. You understand what I'm dealing with?
Yeah, man.
Right? He felt dissed, Aya. And
shows the mentality.
I mean, my brethren ring earlier construction and he's saying, boy, man's making career move and thing there. You know,
yeah, man. Yeah.
To me, them kind of mentality there, right, is a different mentality, Dread, because to think that the youth is trying something, he's stressed out. You understand what I'm dealing with?
Yeah, man.
Right? It's a heavy burden the youth take on, you know.
Yeah.
Right? And to think that he's doing it for a career move, I mean, I think that's a sad pat in the foot, because at the end of the day, right, if we sit down and don't do nothing, man say, why don't them man do who's in law and them thing the old man,
and
who knows about them thing the star, why don't they do something? Right?
Yeah.
And then when a man is trying something now, they say, boy, man's doing it for career move. So what you do? You know what I mean? I see him when them to deal with Jesus, you know, when Jesus coming out. Them fight him down same way.
But you see, blood, at the end of the day, right, I just hope, that's all I live by is hope at this present moment in time, yeah, is that we can learn from this. We must be able to learn something from this, yeah? All the people that turned, I mean, enough women turned out.
It was bare woman, Dread.
Listen, we were once warriors.
It's bare woman everywhere.
Eh?
It was bare woman. You gotta dance a bare woman. Right? You go upon road a bare woman. The march, where's the man them? Where are they, man?
Listen, blood, all I know is that I hope, like, the organizations can learn something of this.
Yeah, but blood, it's not just about the organizations, is it?
No.
It's not just about the organization. It's about we as a people.
I've learned something. And you know what I've learned today? I've learned to support. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Because I did not have to come there today when I heard it. But I made an effort. I took the initiative and I made an effort, right, to turn out today and rare. So I've learned. And the same way I've learned today, I'm sure people that's listening to the station right now is learning. Maybe they don't want to phone up and view their views or whatever, but at the same time, listen, I tell you, blood, all I can say is that big up Genesis, yeah, because I've heard in the past people put down Genesis for all different kinds of reasons, and it's easy to look at the negative that an individual is trying to do rather than looking at the positive. You know what I mean? It's like we get blind to the positive. We don't see the positive. We look at the negative all the time. Especially if it's a black man, it's a negative. You know what I mean? Yeah?
So, yeah, but peace up here, blood.
Yeah.
All right, then stay black, yeah?
Yeah.
Now this is the spiritual, the physical, the mental regeneration show with Papa Briggy every time to get you conscious and with a positive mind. Yeah, it's not a pussy, you're big every time.
Okay, we've got another live link. We're going to take this live link, yeah? Hello, Genesis Radio.
Hi, Briggy, it's Karen.
Okay, Karen, how you doing?
I'm okay, tired and worn out, but anyway, we'll talk about that. In terms of the march, I'm just trying to give some suggestions for the future, so to speak. I think it was put together very quickly, right? And this is not an attack on anybody, because I understand the time that people wanted to do something and then wanted to do things rapid. My advice would be, yes, we've done one now. It didn't work out the way we expected it to do. Take a time, strategically plan a march and network. You know, don't try and rely on the one brother, Andy Morrison, and his little region in Lambeth. Start networking. Tap into the communities. Send information to each community project nationally, yeah? Don't rely on London. You look at it nationally and actually coordinate something. Try not to rush it. Take your time. If it means that it's going to take a couple of months rather than a couple of weeks, do it that way. That's my advice, you know, because I was actually offering support and I didn't receive any information through my project, you know. And then there's also another issue that you've got youths here that you're working with. They're under enough scrutiny through the police and harassment. We don't want to add to that. You know, we have to protect our young people. So it's for the older ones, really. When I say older ones, for men and women of adult age that are not going to be putting their people at risk up front, you know, because we have to protect our race as well as support. Yeah, so what I'm saying is let's for the next march, do a series of meetings and try and make some network links nationally. I'm quite prepared to do something locally at the organisation I'm based at in Peckham. I hope other community projects will come forward likewise, so that, you know, the brother's actually got contacts. If he phones up every local authority, they've got a list of all community groups, yeah? The council, town hall offices hold that information. You can get a list, you can circulate information to that group, and also get people who are not doing nothing during the day, the people that are unemployed, want something to do, they can be the ones who leaflet on the street. 2,000 leaflets, you're lucky if you get 500 people from that, you know, from the publicity I've put out for the information that I do for my youth projects. I print 1,000, 50 will turn up for the activities. So what I'm saying is, don't rely on the amount of leaflets everyone's going to take it on board. You've got some apathetic people who look at the leaflet and say, yeah, good cause, but won't do nothing about it. You know, so print up enough leaflets and let them people who are doing nothing on the street, let them come forward. Say, yes, I've got time on my hands. I can actually go and deliver and leaflet, stand on a street corner and do that. People have to be prepared to work because the work is going on. A few people in the community and they're getting burnt out, you know, and when they're burnt out, you're burnt out too. So people have to recognise that that's what's going to happen, yeah? And that's all I've got to say.
Karen, enough respect to the max, yeah?
Yeah. Peace, Pussy. Yeah?
I'll see you during the week, yeah?
Yeah, check me Tuesday at the project,
All right,
because there's some information that I'd like to give you and pass on to you still. So, Tuesday between 5 and 7 still.
All right then, Karen, yeah?
All right,
Take care, yeah?
Bye.
Okay. Okay, London Town, yeah? For the brother system we just tuned in, yeah? We've got Brother Kwaku, also Brother Martin from Power Jam in the house, okay? And we're standing in unity today, and we're talking about the march, basically what happened, yeah? The live number is 0958 298 669, yeah? 0958 298 669. We've got a live link, we're going to take this link, yeah? Hello, Genesis Radio?
Yeah, construction again.
Yes, construction.
Yeah. I just want to apologise to Andy Morris if it sounds like I was launching an attack on him. I'm not launching an attack on him.
It did sound like an attack, though, I must admit.
Yeah, what I'm saying about it is, what Andy Morrison's getting feelings and seeing what he's seen, right? Some of us has been there, done it, wore the T-shirt already, yeah? That's why some of us not interested in going on marches again. I remember marching through Brixton, only 50 people, yeah? I remember marching certain other places, out in Thamesmead and all heap of places, Eltham and all them places, right? I remember marching certain bigger marches where I see people
use the marches for career moves. That's what I was trying to explain. Yeah, I'm just trying to say to him directly that some of us are very disillusioned with marching because we've seen people use it for their own agendas.
And we see people riot and everything like that and lick out shop and stuff, so it's
Yeah, I know, so we've seen people riot and things, but the way
you're saying it now, it sounds a lot better, though, than the first time you said it, though.
Yeah, I know, sir. Yeah, but in the sense of, a lot of us respect to Andy Morrison for doing what he's doing. Yeah, remember, people are working on all levels. Yeah? Some of us don't march anymore, but we're working underground levels. Yeah? So we don't have to be talking them things on the air. Yeah? And we can't put all the people up front on the television camera on the march. Yeah? Certain people can't be showing their face in public on certain things. Yeah? Because they're involved in certain things. Yeah? That's why certain of us don't support certain things. It's not in the sense we're sitting on our ass doing nothing.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something, blood, right? If the man was really doing something out there, yeah, then there is a good excuse for them not to show their face. But nothing ain't going on.
There is a lot going on.
Pure talk.
Don't worry, it's not talk.
Hear what, man?
I can tell you, Briggy, it's not talk.
Blood, hear what? I know what I'm saying, man.
And I know what I'm saying.
All right, what's happening then?
Why should I tell you? Because you can't talk them things on the radio.
Ah, forget it, construction, man.
I say you can't talk them talks on the radio. But there's things that's going on.
All right, fair enough, yeah.
Things is going on. We talk it differently still. Yeah, if you aren't in, you talk it different.
I'm not busy about nobody, you know, still me.
Yeah, me no said that as well, but that's what I'm trying to say, sir. Them things you don't talk on radio.
Yeah, well, I can understand that still,
anyway. Yeah, so directly what I'm saying is some of us now working on a different level, covert level. Yeah, so we're not going to put ourselves up front in certain things again. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because certain things are going down now.
Yeah, man, that's a good thing, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
So directly, as I say, no disrespect to Andy Morrison. Some of us move on a different level. Yeah? No disrespect to the people that went on the march, but some of us have been marching from time. We're fed up with that. We're looking at doing something else different.
Fair enough.
Yeah? That's all I have to say about it. No disrespect to nobody. Just think and know, says some of us are working a different level now. Yeah? Kwaku, you know what I'm talking about as well, because you're up on that level. Yeah? So certain man and man will know when it happens, what's going to happen. And
we want to know the level, you know, Dread. Because, you see, let me tell you something from now, you know. Right? Me there for me. Me and the obelisk. You know what an obelisk is? An obelisk.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Well, for London town, and an obelisk, right, is a nigga what them have in the ancient temple of Karnak.
Yeah,
in Egypt.
Right?
And me is the obelisk for my people. So let me tell you from now, anything me I do, you know, me nah hide and do it no more in a dread. Me nah hide no way, you know.
It's not about hiding and things like that, but it's about strategy and making sure things correct. Yeah?
Me no care if them want, listen,
and you can't talk them things on the air.
Me no care if them want to take my picture, right? Because me is part of the African community. And the African community is under fire. And me I stand up and say me no like it, dread. You understand me?
Kwaku,
if them don't want to come, listen, if them don't want to come here me do my comedy, me not give a
rock. But Kwaku, you never see, you when you see the IRA on the telly, they always hide their faces. Yeah? Every time they see public camera and thing, the IRA always hide their faces. You don't see them man there. Them man there could be anybody in a crowd.
Yeah.
But when they go public, they don't show their face. Yeah? So as I'm saying this, I don't want to talk about the thing.
We're not following now. Listen, I'm not watching the IRA.
I'm not watching the IRA as well. I'm just showing an example.
I'm watching us, blood. At the end of the day, right, when me I deal with, see, when me I deal with the preservation and the advancement
of our people,
protection of our people.
Exactly.
You understand what I deal with? Right?
Exactly.
And I felt very passionate that this man at the age of 50, was taken out of his car for drunk and drive, supposedly, right? Yeah? And 2-2s, my man end up in a coma, dread.
Yeah, always that.
So at the end of the day, blood, I was there to support the man's family, right? Yeah? Right? And to let people know, say, boy, listen, at the end of the day, I'm dead.
Yeah, but always that. Me was looking for the march. Me live in Brixton here. Me couldn't see no march. Me see all the shops put their barriers down, but me never see no march walk past. Because it was the kind of thing me was looking for the march. Me never see it.
Yeah, but when did they on the march, trust me, they did that.
Looking up and down the road for the march. I don't know in the sense of, like I said, you see all the shops put the shutters down, so we say march, come in. But we never see the march.
Yeah, well, you see, that's all a stigma, innit? Put the shutters down because they're expecting riot.
Yeah, we know that, but that's what I'm saying. Me was in Brixton there right at the front, and me was looking for the march. The march mostly went, what time was supposed to leave off? They leave on time.
No, well, you know, Gary, they never leave bad time, but no, we met at 2 o'clock, and I think we left about 2:30, innit? We left about 2:30.
But me was out there, must be around 2:30, and we never see it. We was expecting a march where enough people is there, and all right, we never see it.
I mean, we all was.
Maybe this thing never went.
We all was, man. I mean, we went down there. Believe me, right, construction. I was disheartened, Dread. And I
was, because I know, say, at the end of the day, we was looking for it. I already done say on the, I wasn't going on the march.
I'll tell you why I was disheartened. I was
done say it.
I'll tell you why I was disheartened.
We support the march in the sense of being there for the start of it.
I'll tell you why I was disheartened, right? Because I was out leafleting for my show last night, yeah? And they had something at the academy, yeah? And there was about 3,000 people in there. Come out, black people, you know? I'm not talking white people.
Melbourne's all that.
Yeah? Then I went to the Lennox Lewis thing, right? And there was about a couple thousand people up there.
Yeah, but right? What was that?
And we all go... Listen to me, blood. I'm just going to give you, I'm giving you the blueprint. At Earl's was jam out.
Yeah.
Yeah? Porky's was jam out.
Yeah.
Yeah? Night Moves, all these places were jam out, and they were all black people.
Yeah, but you know that's what organizations have had to be going through for years. Remember, we all go through that. When it wasn't fashionable, I was in an organization when it weren't even fashionable to be an organization.
No, but it's not a fashionable thing to be in an organization.
I know, but I'm just saying that we've all gone through that.
You was in it. You was in it in the days when, boy, certain people weren't in it. That's what you should say. You shouldn't say it because...
I'm still in it. I'm still in the organizations, but in the sense of directly, them days when we was doing it, it weren't even fashionable. There was only like a little 50 people march or 20 people at a meeting. There's only 5 or 6 people
so obviously you're kind of disheartened.
Them is days, man going meeting ram. They're living in luxury these days. Serious, I'm telling you how it used to be. And some of us, we were the ones that led it to be where it is now. Where man go to meeting where it's ram up and things.
My oldest brother, who's much older than me, he's about 10 years my senior. Right? In fact, he is 10 years my senior. He used to go when the Black Panther movement first started up in this country.
Yeah.
In the early 70s there.
Yeah.
Right? And him tell me about how it used to be jam and them used to march, and I could remember the little marches that used to go on then, because me as a little boy used to march with them. Right? And there used to be, I mean, more black people used to come out then, but it's in them days there, right? You had the Rasta man them, right, who was bringing culture to black people in this country.
Exactly.
Enough people diss the Rasta man them, you know, but let me tell you from now, when the Rasta man them, right, was preaching culture, black man did go and march here, trust me.
Yeah.
Black man did go
and black man
did, and let me tell you something from now. All kind of black man did march, whether he was a criminal or whatever he was into, right? The Rasta man could have get that man to march.
Yeah.
These other organizations, and that include organizations that I'm a part of, right? They can't get nobody to march.
Yeah, always.
So it's obvious something's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. But then at the end of the day, the same organizations diss the Rasta man at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, in a sense, the people that always been planning the things and doing the things are always the ones getting the biggest dissing. So when I say to Andy Morrison, we've all been there, we've all been dissed. Yeah, it's not to be disheartened by it, because we've all had to suffer that. Because our people, North said they was kill the prophet them today, and then said, boy, look what we've gone and done. And then as you say, Kwaku, then you don't want them asking for you after that.
Yeah, but
it don't make sense.
But for me, know that still, we should be dissing Andy still.
No, I wasn't dissing him.
If you know, that's what we'll go to already for a long time.
I wasn't dissing him. I'm just showing him, say, I can name off how much people that was on marches I went on, right? Who have got some big career now in Parliament, in council, in television, all of being through marches.
It's true. You mustn't watch them. It's true.
I'm not watching them. I'm just saying that directly I see how they move on the marches. I'm not watching them.
What is due to them, man, is going to come to them.
Exactly, but that's what I know that as well. I know that as well, but I'm just saying...
That put them where they are. There's the same powers that's going to rinse them up.
Yeah.
They're going to get rinsed up.
You
understand?
Yeah.
You watch what you do and you be true to yourself and true to what.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's what we are all supposed to be doing. That's what we're all supposed to be doing. But you know, say at the end of the day, that's all I'm trying to show Andy. Say that some of us know what's going on and we've been there before. We've worn the T-shirt. And there's a sense of, not a diss, it's just a sense of to say, the younger ones, there are people there that will support you.
So why take off the T-shirt now?
There's some of us there that are supporting it, but we can't go up the front and do it like that. We've done our upfront thing.
T-shirt get take off now.
Yeah.
T-shirt get take off.
Yeah, chill thing still, but in the sense of...
You know what? Me wear the coat and I now take it off. You don't see? All the way to the grave, Dada. I tell you, I'm born for that. So
yeah. Me overs anyway. All right, big up here, and just say no offense, no disrespect intended.
Safe, man.
Yeah. All right then. Yeah.
All right, construction.
Yes,
buddy. Take care. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right, peace.
Mental, the regeneration. With Papa Briggy, the intellectual, the spiritual conscious one, to educate the nation on the Genesis radio station. Snagapuse, Briggy, stay positive. For real.
Okay, we've got another live link. We'll take this link, yeah? Hello, Genesis Radio.
Good evening, brother. This is Valerie calling from Ilford.
Okay, Valerie.
Right, I'm really pleased to hear about your radio show. You know, it's brilliant. Just big up all the brothers.
Thank you, sis.
Anyway, it's, about the march. I didn't actually go on the march. I didn't think it was publicized enough. And it's like we didn't have enough time to organize yourself for it. Right? And what I think as well is, before they organize a march like that, they should have all the heads of black communities.
I refuse to become a dowdy. You know what I'm saying? I refuse to blend in their society. I'm a prejudice to society. I hate their culture, everything about these people. They smell, they annoy me. You know what I'm saying? I feel we should, I really hate these people, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what they're doing to us is terrible. And when I swear a lot and, shout, people think, oh, this guy is nuts. Oh, forget about it. Because most of my friends are not really interested in all this bullshit. They think, oh, this guy...
Blood, hold on, Blood. Just ease down on the bad language on the air, yeah? But here what I want to say to you, though, right, Blood? You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, here what I want to say to you, You see, with me now, Blood, as I said before, I'm a realist, see? Now, I know what the European is doing to my people, yeah? And what they're doing, this violence that you see on the road, what they're doing is far more sinister, yeah? But what I want to say is this, yeah? It wasn't a white
They're not even doing that no more.
Stop.
They're smiling, watching us kill ourselves. That's what they're doing right now. And that's what's getting on my nerves. Like when you're upset and somebody's smiling at you, laughing at you. You want to just burst on that person and show them what kind of demon you are.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of feeling I get. When I see the Queen on TV and I see all these people, anger just builds inside of me like fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm burning inside, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel.
Blood, calm down a minute. There's a point I want to make. Just calm down a minute. Just ease down a little. Just, ease the emotion. All right, and that emotion you generate into your rapping and into your writing, and just send the message out to the youth them, yeah. Because it's man like you that we need to send positive tune out to the youth them. You understand what I'm dealing with? Because you see, a lot of things that perpetuate this behavior is a lot of the music that our youth them is listening to. All this little bad boy music and all this little kind of madness. You see me? Now I'm on a radio station with my DJ brethren them, and I love all of them. I don't cater for them bad boy lyrics. You understand me? I don't business with them. If them record there was to depend on me to be number one, then would I never sell. You understand me? But the point I wanted to make to you earlier is this. The person who shot the brother yesterday and killed him was not a white man. You understand what I'm dealing with, Blood?
Yeah.
It wasn't a white man. And at the end of the day, although we know there's certain sinister activities going behind closed door that is perpetuating certain emotional and physical behavior and sociological situations, what we have to remember is what we see, and we're seeing this black on black violence.
Exactly.
Right?
And
at the end of the day, we have to eradicate it.
So look at us, fucking monkeys. They kill us.
Hey, bruv, look, please, look. I just wanted to, no swearing on the air, please.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all, that's just the way I feel, man. You know what I'm saying?
Blood, I know that's how the way you feel, and I respect you, but hey, we're trying to run a little professional thing here, and we don't, we don't want to be cursing bad word on the airwaves. Some youth them is listening to the station and all that.
I think, I just say, sooner or later, like they say, every dog has his day. You know what I'm saying? And the Queen and the people will definitely know that their time is to come. And believe me, I'm telling you right now, the Queen and the people will definitely have their time. Believe me, and this is coming straight from me, Hot Spice. And believe me, very soon, the Queen and the people will suffer for what they've done to our people for over 500 or 400 years. And what they've taken from our countries in Africa, they will return it and they shall burn. You know what I'm saying? Peace and one love to my people.
Yeah, God peace bless. Out, blood. Yeah, Hot Spice is there, man. Yeah, we've got another call coming. I'm just going to take this call live on the air, yeah? They're live in the air. Go, press out. Hello? Oh, they're gone. Hello? Hello? Hello, caller? Yeah, they hang up. Anyway, they hang up. Anyway, this is Power Jam 92 FM. Boy, things is heating up tonight now. I just want to send dedication out to TW and out to Mercedes 190 and all the DJ them on the station, right, and all the Power Jam crew. I want to send a dedication out to all the Genesis people them was listening yesterday, and my brethren Briggy, I know say you listening, blood. I would have done nice, just ring in, Jed, and just say hello to me, because boy, you're a Chris little youth, and I respect what you do over there, so. You know what I mean? Because a unity thing we are dealing with right now. Me and Briggy unify everybody. We don't feel no way we are upset, but it's unity me I deal with, because what? Unity is strength, and every chain is as strong as its weakest link. You know what I mean? Power Jam 92 FM. And, that's why I'm waiting for some people to ring. Just remember there's a Barris Hammond, Barris Hammond is over in concert and all them things there. So, Barris Hammond sing some peaceful tune and them thing. And they, me defend up all them kind of tune there. You know what I mean? And them the tune that me defend up differently. Anyway, anybody's ringing in, listen, this is a live show, I'm not going to talk to nobody off air, yeah? And anybody who knows me, don't call me until after 10 unless you want to go live on air. The number is 0860 552 775 92 FM Power Jam.
Got killed.
That's right.
You understand? Brixton riots, I've been there. Tottenham riots, I've seen it all. So what I'm talking about is what happened in here and the way people ate each other here, the way people are fucking here.
No, blood, listen. Look, do me a favor. Just hold on a second. I want to talk to everybody who's going to ring in here. I don't want no bad language on the ear star. Yeah, if you're going to ring in, blood, because we're not talking out a road,
true,
yeah?
True. I can't disagree
and we've got some children listening to the show and thing. So I don't want no bad language on the air, you understand me? We need to show, we need to project that respect right, over here so that we can perpetuate it.
That was the negative.
Yeah, but go through still, blood.
People that are born here and learn the culture, the white people. With some parts of it are positive, but the majority of it is negative for us. But if we learn their style and their tactics, then we must use it on them and distress them with it.
Well, listen, I don't agree with you there, so,
Huh?
I don't agree with you there, so. Come in and learn no Bluefoot tactics, because I feel them tactics are mash you up. I chew in them tactics.
What I'm talking about, things like, hear what you're saying then. So what kind of organisation has the black people got that work and do something for them?
You mean that what kind of organisation has black people that work? Well, let me tell you about the organisation that I'm part of, right? We set up a school, see? Right? We set up a school so that black people, right, who can't afford to send their children, right, to them little private school that they got, them little private school that they have, them little black private schools that they have, that is only certain black people can send their children there to get educated. So my organisation, we decide to set up a school for black children that the ordinary black person who can't afford them big money there can send their children every Saturday to get an extra education. You understand me? That's something that we're doing. We're not the only...
Stop.
Hold on a second. Blood, hold on a minute. We're not the only organisation that is doing that. There are other organisations that are doing things. The churches are doing...
What I'm saying... The murdering. When police just bust a man's head and he's dead. And nothing don't happen. Marches like yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. How about that? Them things there is wicked what you're talking about.
Was you on the march yesterday, blood?
But we can't just settle for that,
Was you on the march yesterday?
Huh?
Did you come to the march?
No, I was working.
We see. Look, did you know about the march?
Of course I knew about the march.
So why you never take some time off to come to the march?
Because I have to try to support a family.
Listen, blood, look, listen, let me tell you something from now. The same family that you're supporting.
Listen,
Hold on,
you can't tell me, if I can be bothered to phone up here and admit that on the air, don't tell me about this, that and the other.
No, but hear what I'm saying to you now. Hear what I'm saying to you.
No, listen. Just because a man didn't turn up at a march, you can't condemn him on the air.
Yeah, but how many men never turn up to the march? How many men never turn up to the march?
Come on, be constructive.
But how many men never turn up to the march, blood?
If you tell every man...
My brethren works on a Sunday. My brethren works on a Sunday.
To support his family.
My brethren works on a Sunday, blood. My brethren works on a Sunday.
Say that again?
My brethren, he works on a Sunday. Me and my brethren who went, yeah, and he gave up work, and he's got 2 children to support, same speed. Listen, hold on, I'm not disrespecting you, you know.
It could be totally different to mine. Don't talk to a man on the phone and tell him
I'm not disrespecting your blood. Listen to what I'm saying. No, listen to what I'm saying to you, right? Listen, what I'm saying to you, I asked you, couldn't you take the day off? That's what I said to you, right?
Hear what?
Couldn't you take? No, hold on a second.
It was the first blood clot there.
No. Oh, cut him off. Well, anyway, we cut off that brother there. No disrespect to him still, but you know what I mean? We don't want no swearing on the air differently. We don't want no bad language on the air. You know what I mean? If you can't talk without swearing, then it don't make no sense your phone up, blood. You know, we don't really need that. At the end of the day, you know, everybody can say that they had to go work. You know what I mean? You're not the only person who have a family to support. Everybody got a family to support. You know what I mean? Me have picnic, everybody have picnic, and we all have a family to support. But when you go on a march like that, you're supporting your family said speed, blood. You understand what I'm dealing with? It's not a matter of no disrespecting nobody or anything like that. You know, this is another thing that we need to get into. If we're going to do something, we need to say, to hell with the work, Dread. Right? Because whose work is it we're going to? We're going to do another man's work, and all he's doing is giving us a little change. Yeah? Yet our lives are getting taken off the street. You know what I mean? Please don't ring in. I mean, blood, you can ring back in still differently, you know, cause love still, but hear what? We don't want no bad language on the air, man. We don't want no bad language on the air, because we got children listening to the same station. And boy, blood, you said you got your youth them, and you know what I mean? I can't understand that, Dread. You know what I mean? But listen, loving the Power Jam 92 FM, 0860 552 775. Now, ease down the swearing. Don't swear on air. We're not here for that. You understand? Now, going to somebody else live. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Is it that? It's Kwaku?
Yeah, Kwaku speaking.
Boy, you sound kind of low up on the phone now.
Me sound low?
Yeah.
All right, that sound better?
A little.
All right, go on through, blood.
Listen, it's Minka, you know.
Yes, Minka.
From the Black Unit.
Yeah, OTEP.
OTEP, my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, me just tune in and me just hear you talk about this march, you know. So me just think, I just phone in for just share a few thoughts still.
Yeah, go on through.
I mean, the first thing is that, I mean, I hear a lot of people talk about this march as if the first thing is that it's poor attendance.
See.
I mean, I really hear anything. I mean, hear them say the socialists them come take over and all them business there. The other thing me hear, the reason for why people never come is that we have poor publicity. A whole lot of people are going to dance.
Some people say them they are work.
Some people gonna work and all them things. And I must say, in regards to the last brother who speaks still, although me not really agree with the kind of bad language he might come off with, I still think he have a certain point when he said that it is to look on the march as if he said that, well, is either if you don't come on the march or you don't take off time to come on the march, then well really you know, say not much. Although me know say not say that to the fullness, but that's the point him I did a pick up. And me think that is a wrong thing still. If him get that viewpoint. Because I feel to say a lot of people who feel for this brother still never come out on the march. And the first thing we should really say before me go further is to pass off my regards to the family of us. Because as a brother for quite a long time now, it is really sad to see these killings just going over and over again. But it's saying that still, I think the way in which we kind of respond to this situation, we have to look on carefully. Because, for example, now, me got to this meeting on Friday night, before organized by this campaign, before this march took place. And one of the things me surprised about is when me got meet. Me say police in the meeting. And the people must say, although me not, it's like people kind of cool at that. That's what kind of meeting me come to. The next thing now, we said to the organizers, we said, well, look, you did check organization like the Africa United Action Front. You check organization like the Black Unity and Freedom Party. You check organization like Black History for Action. And the answer is no. And what we are saying is that if we are going to do this thing proper, I really think to say you have to really sit around a table and set up people and that, well, look, let us do this thing in an organized, collective way, because otherwise, I don't really see how we're going to go forward that way. Because one of the things people have to try to realize, you can't just set up black people nowadays to say, well, just come out for march. Because we go for march with Clinton McCurbin, Anthony Lamar, Cherry Gross, Roland Adams. And people want to hear something now in terms of program. What is the program? What we are going to do after the march? All of these things are feared. What I like to say finally now in regards to the march itself is that the main thing where we should really be looking at is where we go from here. Because that is a serious thing. We just have a march and we say, well, right now it could have been a lot better. And the reason why people profile upon the so-called the Socialist Workers' Party, them and people like that, is because we're so few of we. If we did it in our numbers, you wouldn't even notice them.
Well, that's the point I was trying to make, Brother Minka. You know what I mean?
Yes,
if we had come down there in a mass, them people there would have even, I don't even think they would have come on the march. You understand what I mean? We could have taken the march over. At the end of the day, right, you know, people say you shouldn't march, right? And I was a man, before them shot my cousin, there was a man who never in the world I believe to myself, I march for no peace. If I march for war. But at the end of the day, right, when one of our families, right, is trying to do something, I think that what we should do as a collective, right, we should show them that support. You understand me? I mean, you look upon the killing of Stephen Lawrence, right? Them boy, they go to court. And how many black people was out there? None of it. I mean, I wasn't there, so I'm a culprit myself. But when I check it, right, we're soft. I mean, we should have been out there in thousands. So when them boy then come out there grinning up their teeth, they should have known. They should have said, we should have generated some fear in them.
Yeah, well, what I say is that, is the point I try and make, is that we can't just, we are talking about march. March is a good thing. And march is a thing when we have gone on for a long time.
Yeah, I know say he's a veteran in the business still.
You see, he was one of the organizers of the New Cross Massacre March. So I go back a long time.
Yeah, I know that.
And even march before that. But what we have to know is that we can't deal with our people in 1997 like it's 1987.
For real.
You understand? So it's like, when you see them man there go down like the Stephen Lawrence thing, and them come out of court and you say we should have a whole heap of people down there. Well, the fact of the matter is, is that information around. So if you really want to go do anything or make a point in regards to that.
Yeah, well, hold that down, Nobody say that point here, just seize down.
No, when me just try to show you,
I know, but we don't want to talk that them the kind of lyrics there, just seize off of that. When me and you link up differently, we talk that,
Me not going to say nothing, because I know they're running. But when me just try to show you, says this, is that when we have to go to something, on terms, and when it's
hold on a minute, Minka, hold on a minute. Listen, the people them who's ringing, could you just wait until Brother Minka come off the line and then you can ring, because I can't answer it while he's speaking. Right. So just hold on until he finishes, yeah?
So me I say is that the key to all of this thing, all me I say is that is organization, right? Because when the man them all come out, and them come out and grin them teeth and all them things there. All them things are set up. The man them expect people to react in a certain way. What we may say is that when you organize on a certain level, you react in your own way, in your own time. And so again, the question is not so much, although it's good for people to don't on the court, the question is that we need organization, permanent organization on the ground. We are going to deal with them things, because them things that we are talking about is community defense. When our community get attacked, how are we going to respond? And this is a serious question of organization. It's not something you just get up over 1 minute and the next minute you cool down. But coming back to this thing, when we did all go forward in saying after this demonstration, what we need to do is this in terms of way forward, because a lot of people talk about how not a lot of people come and all them things there and concern about that. But well, if people agree that the issue of justice is still there, and we need to talk about this question of justice. What I said to the organizers is that they need to contact organizations like the Africa United Action Front, the Black Quest for Justice, the Nation of Islam, black organization.
The Nation of Islam was contacted.
No, what may I try to say?
No, the Nation of Islam was contacted. Right? All the Nation of Islam headquarters were written a letter.
Yeah, what may I try to say?
They were contacted. They just,
Well, me not a member of the Nation of Islam.
No, but me just assure you. Me just assure you something. Me just give you a little information.
Me also assure you something as well. If you have a deal in an organized way, in a serious kind of way, may I tell you this, that me not a Nation of Islam man, but me respect the way them man they organize. And it's the same question with them ask, them put to people in which people have to consider what is the program and what we expect to do after this. And them kind of things that we may say is that we have to lock people around a room table and we have to sort out them things there.
But Minka, you know yourself, right? Hear what, Minka? Right? As a man who, me and you back up enough meetings and things like that, right? Sometimes you come in a meeting, the ordinary man and woman that we're trying to get, right, they don't want to know. You understand me? It's only when a catastrophe knocks at their door that they decide to say, well, I'm going to, you understand me? But once our people, them is all right out on the road, as a brother said yesterday, right? Yeah, on Genesis. Once them people, them have them look a pretty car and them safe, for them look end safe. They don't business because they think they're all right, they think ain't going to come at their door.
No, let me assure you something. May I talk to you as an experienced and long-term organizer, right? And I assure you, so you have things like, you have to look on things for a long term, And when you have things like, when you have killing like Clinton McCurby, down at Wolverhampton, and I try to show you, sub-zero temperature, man, them come out and them thousands, to demonstrate amongst them things. So you can't tell me, say, man, no one know, but the thing is, if you want to do things, we have to do it properly. And that's what I try to show you, if it says that we have to go contact organization, we can't just say to ourselves that, well, people don't want to know, because if you have that attitude, we may as well just give up right now.
No, man, you're not going to give up right
now.
Well,
if we're not going to give up right now, then we'll have to deal with this question here, because the solution to our problem is in unity, because
for real.
We responded the radio earlier that, well, can have their own agenda. Well, may I try to show if we say we have a coalition of African organization right now, who have put them things there in the back, and I try to put that issue up central, but when I try me there at a meeting before me go, does anybody hear about this meeting or this demonstration? They must show me say that them don't know. And the reason why them don't know is that certain things are going in the organization of certain things in which people don't want to come up front out.
Yeah, for real.
Right? And what we are trying to say is that we have to bring them things in the open.
All right, Minka, listen, somebody else I try to get through, Black. So we could have reason.
Because I just wind up on this thing about showing you one thing, right? Is that we can't just leave this demonstration there, so. And them organization, they have to take this issue seriously of giving people notice, calling them around a table to talk about this. If we are going to have a demonstration, we have to go do it good. And what may I say is this. We have to go talk about a national demonstration.
Yes.
And we have to talk about a demonstration in the weekday. And what we have to get from all the people, when we get together, to say, people not commit themselves for still on one day, then we not bother to come out from that demonstration there, because it don't make sense.
Yeah.
We have to talk about to say come out from any kind of weak art demonstration. We have to come out and we have to come out to make business. And what may I say is that there's a possibility and a great potential for that, but at the same time, we as organizers and people organized have to take up that responsibility to do it properly. Now, can I just make one little quick announcement before we go in?
Go on.
We involved in this.
Make it quick, Minka.
Yeah, me know. But you see, at the end of the day, we have to deal with
Yeah, but make it quick, Minka, because other people are trying to call you.
Seriously. We're involved in this Saturday school called the Next Generation. And at the moment, we are getting the children them are coming, but we could have still do with some teachers. Help to kind of boost up that initiative there, sir. Because we say we are dealing with the next generation. So I just want to give out this number here, sir. So people, any teachers out there who can give support to this initiative, we really appreciate that and would have loved some increased support. And also if them have children who want to get a better kind of exposure in terms of what going on in the education system.
But get to the point, Minka.
Back them up on the academic side and back them up on the culture side. I want to give you this number. The number is this for the school. And it is 9.
Say it again.
8171.
Say it again.
0171.
Yeah.
978.
Yeah.
8171.
All right then, brother Rick.
Right?
Okay.
And I want to fill phone in and try and give some support. And I want to keep up the powerful work there, so, you know?
Yes, blood.
One love.
All right, the Hotep. Yeah, that was brother Minka, you know, going through and thing. I think somebody's coming in live. Hello. Yeah, that was brother Minka, you know. Brother Minka is a old guy, you know, big man. From me, I look, him a bigger man for me still. Him dep on the works long time, years, and him not give up. But anyway, we'll take somebody else live. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, who's this speaking, sir?
Boy, my name's Marky. You know.
Marky, from where, sir?
Boy, Brixton.
Brixton, go through, Marky, man.
Yeah, boy, what it is really and truly, you see, like, first of all, I'd just like to say this. I don't want to, like, alone thing still, yeah?
Yeah, go on,
like, when man was saying about all Biggie Smalls and this and that, forget about them thing there. Them thing there, you understand? I'm not saying forget about, basically what it is, it's black on black violence that really gets me irate. You understand? And it's got to stop, really, because really and truly, we won't get nowhere if we're fighting each other, and that's what's happening. You understand? Like, if man and man was to, like, just put their heads together, educate our children, obviously, as well as ourselves, as in to know within ourselves that, and value ourselves. I mean, for another example, we call, like, our women baby mothers. You know?
Blood, can you turn your radio down?
Yeah, sorry about that. We call our women baby mothers. What's that all about? At the end of the day, my woman is the mother of my child. You understand? Beautiful black
Hold on a
woman.
minute, Marky.
Yeah.
Just hold on. Listen, London Town, while people speaking on the phone, could you hold, please? Because every time you're phoning, you cut out the speaker who's speaking. Please hold on until he hangs up. Thank you very much. I can't do nothing else. You know, we're not in one of them big expensive studio where we can put you on hold. Please hold on, please. Go on, Marky.
Yeah. Well, what it is, like I was saying, you know, we've got to, like, value ourselves before, you know, we've got to get together, obviously put our heads together, because there's a lot of angry black brothers out there. We're all angry. You know, it's a thing, like, it's been going on over the ages and ages, you know. Like, for an example, like our parents were brought over this country from Jamaica, where have you be, wherever. You know, come over to England, the land of opportunity. You make money, settle down, blah, blah. We were conned into this society, yeah? And then tutus now, they're telling us, you know, the teddy boys back in them days were telling us, oh, giving like our parents, grandparents have, you know, go back home, you monkey, this and that and this and that. You hear me?
I'm listening to you, blood.
Yeah? And basically, we were conned into this, like, you know, it's us as black people, as Asians as well, that's boosted up this economy, you know. Rude boy, if it weren't for us, this wouldn't be in England. And all of a sudden, they want to kill us off in a police station, wherever, you know, and you understand? And yet, you know, you got like, they want to, I don't know, they want to, you know.
But Marky, listen.
Yeah, go.
The majority of killings that's going on with black people is by black people, Jay.
I know, that's what
you understand me?
Yeah, that's exactly what I agree totally with what
at the same time, right, I'm going to ask you a personal opinion about this. Which is worse, right? When the police kill us in a police station or when we kill each other? Which is worse?
Which is worse? Obviously, it stands to reason it's when we kill each other. Because obviously, you know, if it's like a self-genocide thing, isn't it?
Yeah, because the thing is, right, it's as bad when some, you know, people, white them kill Stephen Lawrence. It's bad when man like Wayne Douglas and Brian Douglas get killed in custody, and the brother over in Stoughton Newcombe and Asuki the other day, But
it goes on, doesn't it?
But the thing is, right, we can't stand up, as a people and say that we're upset about those killings,
No.
And then when we talk about that,
no, we've got to stand up and
we're going to kill
not,
ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to stand up and say we're not taking it anymore, you know, because we are powerful, you know, we have got a voice. You know, like for an example, I heard another guy on the radio say, on this same program say that about how Choice FM never promoted the march. You know the march?
Yeah.
That happened, I think it was yesterday.
I don't think Choice knew about the march, personally.
Well, yeah, you know, they're saying, oh, they were all kissing Choice. I don't really blame, I don't really blame anyone. I don't blame no one, basically. But I'm just saying there's not enough, what's the word, advertisement, not enough enthusiasm. We just rather sit down and smoke blunt and drink and go to dance and rub to. Them things there, we must forget about that, educate our heads. Obviously, yeah, when time comes for pleasure, we have pleasure. You understand? But when it comes to time to sit down and think and educate, that's what we must do. Look how much, even whites and Asians. Look how many of them that, you know, most of them are doctors. Most Asians I know are doctors. You know, and white guys or whatever, you know. I hardly see any black doctors. Me personally, I have a black doctor. But I'm just saying in general, you know, I'm not, it's just sad really. But the thing is, you know, education, you know,
yeah,
we don't even sit back. We've just got to stand up and we're just going to have to fight, you know, but at the same time, we can't fight fire with fire.
Yeah, it's true, Marky.
Yeah.
Listen, time is running out because we're going to attend the school too.
It's just
And
a quick thing, you get me? You know,
there's other people trying to ring us, but blood, respect every time, blood.
Yeah, man, it's just like an opinion thing, you get me?
Yeah, but and your opinion is valid, blood.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, OTEP, blood.
Little more, yeah?
Okay.
Alright.
Hello, Power Jam 92 FM.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, this is
Who?
Gloria from Keys.
Gloria from where?
Three Keys.
Surrey Keys?
Yeah.
All right, Gloria. Hold on a minute, Gloria. I just want to tell London Town, if you can just hold on until Gloria finish speaking, then you can ring in, because every time you ring in, it cuts her out, yeah? Go on, Gloria.
Respect Kwaku.
Respect, sister.
And all the radio stations out there. You're doing a good job.
Thank you, sis.
I was on the march yesterday.
Seen.
Yesterday I was very disappointed.
You did see me yesterday?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So you know, I fight the fight, innit?
I know. Yeah. Yesterday I was very disappointed. Today I'm just glad that I was there still.
See.
You know? But what I really want to say is that really the radio stations is all that black people have got out there for, like, you know, getting information and them kind of thing. And you go on about the people in the dance every week, the dance is ram and rare. That is to the radio stations, every quarter of an hour, you're announcing about, you know, the dance and rare. And even if say at the beginning of the week I don't want to go to the dance, because of the advertising that I hear all week, by the Saturday I'm running out to find tickets. But if, you know what I mean, you advertise, like, if there's any, like, black things that is going on for the community and whatever else, if that is advertised like that, enough people will come out, because no one don't want to miss out on nothing. You know what I mean? So if we can get together and do some kind of...
It's like what the brother said earlier on, it's about properly organising it, you know? Admittedly, you know, a lot of the radio stations didn't know about it. I think it was only Genesis that really actually knew, you know? So a lot of the radio stations didn't know, and a lot of people, honestly, they didn't know nothing about the march, you know?
Yeah, because I know it was like a sort of a rush thing because of the tragedy that happened still and people getting together. But if we could, like, all organise something and all the radio stations all get together and sit down and, you know, sort out something proper and maybe a little entertainment at the end of it, because not everybody is educated to a certain level and it will take different things to get people out. Do you know what I mean?
See.
You know, so, you know, if everyone can get their head together and sort something out and advertise it like the same way, like every half an hour you advertise everything else. That's why the dance then is ramp like that, because you take away the radio stations, you go back to them old days and you're just looking little flyer in the coffee or whatever. Do you know what I mean? There's not, the dances ain't so ramp like that again.
Yeah.
You know, so the advertising is very important, and the radio stations really is all that we've got.
But and with respect to what you just said, and with respect to all the radio stations, they actually get paid for, you know, actually putting on them ads, and they have to go on, you know what I'm saying? But I understand what you're saying still, you know, and things like that, positive things like that need to be big up in said speed, and respect due to that every time, sis.
Yeah. Okay, then I ain't going to take up no more time, all right?
Okay then, my sister.
Respect, peace, everybody, London town. Okay?
Okay then, sister. Okay. Yeah, Power Jam 92 FM.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hello?
Hello. You're live on Power Jam 92 FM.
Okay, I was listening to your station.
Yeah, what's your name, sister?
Sorry, my name's Dion.
And where you from, Dion?
Camberwell.
Okay, Dion, go through.
Okay, I was listening to your everyone speaking and putting in their views of what happened. Right, basically, I've got an article here about concerning black people and slavery. I just want to read part of it so people know exactly why black people are going on the way they go on and why black people are against each other and killing each other. It says here, concerning how to keep the slaves divided. Okay?
Is this the Willie Lynch speech?
Sorry?
Is this the speech by Willie Lynch?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, sister.
Okay, it says here, I'm not going to read it all, but
yeah,
the parts that make sense. One moment.
Yeah, sister, remember, we ain't got much time here,
I know, I understand. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that is installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. Now, that was written in 1712. It is now 1997. Okay, so they are still controlling us today. Okay, it says here, don't forget to pit the old blacks versus the young blacks. The young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves against the dark. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. You must also have your servants and overseers distrust all blacks.
But they must trust you.
Okay? But it is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust us, only us. Okay? And that was written by a white man.
In 1712.
How they can control black people. And what's happening is that that's happened over these years. Black people have turned against each other. But
Sister,
yeah.
At the end of that that thing, it actually tells you, right, that if implemented correctly, it will last for maybe 300 years, maybe 1,000.
Yeah, I hear that, but I do see positive things within our black community. Do you understand? I mean, at the end of the day, you've got positive mothers out there that only want the best for their children. And if some of those kids out there listened, like our parents told us right from wrong, okay, and the qualities that they've given us, we bring that into our adult life, okay? Fine, I do understand that there's a lot of kids out there who are suffering, right? But at the end of the day, when the kids become teenagers, they have peer pressure. Do you understand? And at the end of the day, they lose their way, right? And when they become older, in their 20s, going on to their 30s, they start to realize what they want out of life. Do you understand? The fathers then become the responsible fathers. If they have children in their teens, they're irresponsible. They don't know anything yet. And life, as they go on, they will learn mistakes that they make. They will look back, and the mistakes that they made in their childhood, they will tell their children otherwise. Right, but every child, black, white, Indian, Chinese, through the same, okay, and to me personally speaking, I feel it depends on the individual, okay, not because I am a black woman, that I'm going to sit back and think, oh, it's hard for me, I can't do this, I can't do that because I'm a black woman. I can do anything I want to do. My children can do anything they want to do. I can buy a car on HP if necessary. Anyone in this country can do that now. Do you understand? There's loads of things that we can do, and stop emphasizing the fact that the person that got killed, I'm very sorry about that, but there's a story behind why that person got killed or why that person wanted that person killed. Do you understand? We just don't look at it on the bare facts. We have to look at it deep down. There was a problem from the beginning, and that was the result of the problem. Do you understand? And it's for each individual responsible parent to teach those children wrong from right, and to let them know where they can go and how they can live their lives.
Yeah, sister, just in relation to what transpired yesterday, right?
Yeah.
The reasons behind that was very stupid. Trust me. Trust me.
I don't know. Can you
I
tell
know
me
the
what
reasons. I know the reason. I'm not about to discuss it over here, but the reasons behind the killing of what happened yesterday, believe me, was foolishness.
Okay, and
I
just assumed
so
it was...
what I'm saying to you is this, right? Is that, you know, we as black people, we're so, especially I'm talking to black men, you know, we a little stupidness. Look, black man is killing black man just because another black man look at him too strong.
You know what that is?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what that is?
It's madness, man.
What that is exactly what I read out earlier on. The black man has been pitched against each other, okay? They need to look into themselves, love one another as they love thyself. Do you understand? And at the end of the day, you have to look into yourself before you can change, right? And if everybody thought the same way, right, we'd have a perfect world, but we don't.
Yeah, but sister...
I want to say something. You made a point about people, what have you. Good luck to those people that are driving their nice cars. If I see a man or a woman in a nice car, I feel good for that person because that person worked hard for what they've got. Do you understand? Right? And whichever way or angle they manage to get what they got, right, it's theirs. Do you understand? Right? And everybody starts off on the same road. Right? Things are changing for black
sister
on that as well.
It's true. Sis, you know what you just said there, all due respect, but you know, but the thing about everybody starting the same road, that's not necessarily true, you know what I mean? You know, there are situations where people don't start on the same road. Some people that's growing up in the wickedness and it's just perpetuating it day in and day out, you know what I'm saying?
Where does that stem from?
You know,
it stems from the parent that brought that child into the world, okay, that lives, the way that child is living, it stems from the parent because, you know, you've still got adults in my age group that think that they're this and they think going to change because it's too late for them to change. All that I can say is to focus on, okay, and
all right, sister, listen, we only got a few more minutes and other people's phoning in, so thanks very much, sis. Listen, peace and everything, and I respect you every time, yeah?
Thank you very much.
All right, then, peace. Bye-bye. Yeah, Power Jam 92 FM, who's speaking?
Mr. Wolf.
Mr. Wolf. Mr. who?
Dave, Wolf.
Yeah, go through, Dave.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, just in relation to some of the responses people have been saying about people getting together.
Could you speak up, please?
Yeah, is it alright if I make some publicity on the radio about what's going on in the next few months?
Yeah, but really and truly we're here discussing about what's transpired and we want people's opinion differently, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I know you only got a few minutes. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of what has been said is true. And basically, what we've got to do, we've got to be able to support the things like the march. You've got to be able to there's different groups which are doing good in the community. You know, understand? I think the basic position for every black person in the community should basically be to attach themselves to some organisation which they feel for themselves is doing good for not only them but for their community.
That's
you
right.
know? That could be even just down to being in connection with your local community centre, but doing something so where you're getting information and you're feeding information. You know, that's like the basic level. So I think everybody should do that as their first duty towards the community. You know, so there you go.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, take it easy.
All right, peace out.
Can I?
Go on.
Can I just say something there? It's Wayne talking. I think that was a very important point what the brother there just said. If everybody or at least one member within a household was to attach themselves to one community organisation,
Go on, Karen, talk.
then it would at least be a start whereby people couldn't have an excuse to say, well, I never hear about the march, because information would be flowing out, and then when people decide to organize, then the masses of people would know.
Yeah, that was Brother Wayne just rinsing off two things. Brother Wayne and Brother Martin, all three of us, we teach at the Nubia African Community Foundation School, which is situated at 55 Willington Road, New Initiatives, you know, Stockwell Southwest 4, you know, Southwest 2. So, you know, we're here doing the works and we're trying our best, you know. We don't claim to be no perfect man or anything like that, but, you know, we realize there's a problem and we're trying our best to do something about it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're going to put somebody else live now, yeah? Now, the time is now 21:57, yeah? 9:57, DJ MA ain't in the place yet. But you know what? The way I feel, I just carry on talking still differently. So the number is 0860 552 775. We've got somebody going live. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Who's speaking, sir?
Andre.
Andre from where, sir?
Harold.
Hi, Andre.
Yeah, I'd just like to make a brief comment because I know there's a lot of people trying to get through.
Yeah, go on, sir.
But I believe, you know, boss, that before anybody in the black community, the so-called community, because I don't even believe there is a black community out there, honestly. That word is just bandied around too much, and it's not true. There is no black community as such in the fullest sense. That's why when you see all these people are being murdered and people jumping up and gathering down at Briggy, rioting, and you get them little common teeth going in there and breaking up people's businesses, destroying newspaper outlets and all the rest of it. The
Talk it, brother,
just
talk
laughing off the black people.
Go on, brother, carry on, man. I'm listening to you, now, blood.
Laughing because it just reinforces what they believe, that all black people are just little common teeth at every opportunity, a murder, you run out there and go and start breaking up people's businesses that have taken years to establish. And that's black people doing it.
Blood, it's Wayne again. I hear what you're saying, Blood. I definitely hear what you're saying. But I also believe that the people them that go on them said ways, they've been programmed in a certain way to react in a certain way. So it's like as one of their brethren or a local man get taken down, they decide, well, everything have to burn. And that's their way of dealing with it.
Well,
I'm not saying it's the right way, but there's one important factor that I think has to be observed from those things there. It gains a lot of publicity.
Yeah, well, it's publicity, but it's at a cost, right?
Yeah, definitely at a
It's
cost.
at a cost, but
It's definitely. I'm not saying it's a positive
but that's
thing
not
either.
publicity, my friend. That's not publicity. The other thing, there's too many divisions amongst black people in themselves, and that's what you got to look at first before you even make a move talking about marches. There's too much division. Sort out the division, then we can make a move.
But I think one of the earlier callers said it. You have to be organized. If you're not organized properly,
you're talking about organized. Listen, you could organize till you organize out. But look, you could organize till you've got everything down to a T.
Yeah, but the thing is,
the organizing doesn't make no sense. Divisions.
Can I just say something to you there, Blood? Listen, you know, Europe is here trying to unify themselves, you know, with the Maastricht Treaty and all the rest of it. They don't agree on anything, right? But they're still organizing.
Yeah,
now, can I finish? Can I finish? They're still organizing. And at the end of the day, yeah, whatever they're organizing, right, there's some fruits bearing from it. We can't just sit down and say, boy, black people's got to start thinking like this and that. And we've got to make up the little institutions so that people can come in those institutions and we can reprogram ourselves to think as one. You understand what I'm saying,
All
Blood?
right, well, look, you're talking about reprogramming, right? Look, to get anything going, you have to attract people, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
the things which are going on out there, i.e. religion and all the rest of it, Nation of Islam, this, that, and the other, it doesn't attract black people as a whole. You've got to come under some form of one banner. I don't know what it's going to be, but you've got to come under one form of banner that can attract the majority and not the little minority fragmented groups which are going on about. Now, you all are doing something, Nation of Islam are doing something, Pentecostal Church are doing something different, but you all are never going to meet.
Brother, can I just say something here? Now, if I got you right here, you're saying that in order for us to move forward, we have to put away them divisions?
Of course you have to put away the divisions, because there will be no unity.
Yeah, but...
Because everybody is setting up their own separate little thing. Nobody knows what anybody else is doing. Certain elements don't attract certain groups. The older generation might see certain people doing something. You have a lot of young black guys coming up through this Islam thing and stuff, and they're taking it on and wearing the clothes and so forth. Some people are backsliding. They're not, but they can't keep up with it. My man, I'm on my mobile. I'm a battery finished, so that's all I'm going to leave you with for tonight.
Okay, respect, Blood, every time, yeah? Peace and all. Yeah, you know, Brother Martin want to say something in regards to what the brother just said there.
See, the reality is, our community is no different from any community, and there are always divisions within the community. If you look at the Jewish community, there are many different sections within the Jewish community, but when they have a problem, they override their differences and come together. If you examine the hand, on the hand you have 5 separate and individual fingers, but when the hand has a job to do, the fingers come together and form a fist. You understand? It's, the divisions ain't, I don't really think, maybe someone else out there has a different opinion and can give that opinion, but I don't think it's the initial differences that's the problem. It's finding something, the common denominator, as they call it, that runs through within all those different divisions that we can use to tie together when necessary.
Yeah, hello, Jeff.
Yeah, greetings.
Yeah, where you from, Jeff?
I'm calling from East London.
Okay, Blood, go through.
Yeah, you know what, I was thinking we should organise another march, yeah?
Hold on a minute, Jeff.
I think the marches to
Jeff. Jeff.
Yeah?
Yeah, hold on a minute. Listen, Jeff's on the line now at the moment. I know people's trying to get through, but if you could just hold on until Jeff finish, and then you can ring in, then, you know, things will move smooth.